Welcome back, everybody, to yet another episode here on the O'Shea Duke Jackson channel. I'm glad to be here. Glad to have you guys watching. For those of you who are watching the live stream, come on in, like the video. As you know, go ahead and relax. And for those of you who are watching the restream, we want to thank you for watching the restream here. Today we have my man, Black American Expat, and he's joined by another brother, Dr. Mike, also known as Mike, the PI guide. I've had both of those brothers here on individual interviews before. Black American Expat is actually a moderator here on the O'Shea Duke Jackson channel. And today we're talking about Filipino women versus American women. We're going to talk about their experience living overseas, their experience living in the Philippines, housing, jobs, anything that you guys want to know. Just come on in, brothers, and we'll definitely appreciate you. Let me start with my man, Black American Expat. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, O'Shea?
All right, man. It's good to have you, man. You know, I've been a fan of your content. We did a hit show last year, I believe. It was a very good show, man. It got over, I think, 10,000 views on my other channel. So I was glad to have you back. Just let everybody know who you are, man, and kind of start the show like that.
Okay, I'm Black American Expat, and right now I'm a vlogger here in the Philippines. I got a channel called Black American Expat, and then I got another channel called Black American Expat Live. And I collaborate with Dr. Mike also every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do a show called Life and Love in the Philippines. So if you guys, you can check us out sometimes and see what we all about. We usually talk about different things, relationships and life in the Philippines.
Okay, cool. So, and guys, listen to what he just said. He's currently in the Philippines right now. Okay, so that's huge. Like I'm in Poland. And then what's going on, Dr. Mike?
Hey, what's going on, O'Shea, man? It's a pleasure to be on the show as always. A little bit about myself, for those that did not catch our first interview. I actually went to the Philippines when I was 17 years old. That was the first time I visited. That was my junior year of high school, and my father was living over there with my stepmom. She's a Filipina. So after I graduated high school, I moved over to the Philippines. So that was back in like 2006. So basically, I spent over 10 years living in the country, and I've only been back here in the United States for just a little bit over a year. So basically, I studied over there. I kind of basically became a man and kind of grew up in the Philippines. So I spent the majority of my life, at least 1/3 of it over there. And that's kind of how I was able to link up with Jay, who's actually living there now,
Okay.
and we were able to come up with the show that he just mentioned to you guys a minute ago.
All right, cool. Now let me so because your name is Dr. Mike, all right, and so obviously you did just do some education over there. Let's kind of talk about the educational things you achieved while living in the Philippines.
All right. Well, I appreciate you throwing it out there. I forgot to mention, guys, I do have my doctorate degree. My doctorate degree is in business administration. Considering how young I am, I did my education back to back to back. So after I finished my undergraduate degree in marketing management, I went straight into my master's degree program and then straight into my doctorate degree program over there in the Philippines. So I had a chance to study abroad and get my education. And FYI, all of my credits and everything transferred back here to the United States. They've already been evaluated. So I do have a degree that is of the same US equivalency. So I didn't have to take any more classes and anything like that. So I'm a doctor in the Philippines as well as recognized here in the United States as well.
All right, that's awesome, man. So, brothers, if you're coming into the show, go ahead and like the video. Let's kind of talk about this real quick. We'll start here with Black American Expat. The name of the show is Filipino Women versus American Women, but let's get a little bit of a backstory before we get into that. We'll start with Black American Expat. What was the reason what took you to the Philippines in the first place?
Basically, I was getting ready. I wanted to travel. I know I wanted to go see the world. I was eventually, I wanted to go to Medellin, Colombia first, but I ended up going to the Philippines because I was in different forums, and I met a lot of people in the Philippines before I got here. A lot of people telling me like the weather here is nice. Of course, they got beautiful women here, and that was one of the main objectives I came here because of the weather and the women.
Okay. Let me ask you this. So before you were in the Philippines, let's talk about your life in the United States prior to that. Talk to me about some things that you were doing in the United States. I know that you had operated a successful business, stuff like that. So let's talk about the things that you had in the USA prior.
Before traveling to the Philippines, I had a business. I had like a store that I had for over 13 years, successful business. And also I was doing radio too, in Atlanta and in Houston, Texas, and doing parties. And I had like a sound company on the side that I ran, that I rented out different equipment. And basically that's what I did.
Okay, okay. And then you were also in the military for some time, right?
Yes, I did 10 years in the military also.
Okay. So, at one point, and then, at one point, you were basically um, doing pretty well in the business, making a lot of money. The question I want to ask is, well, why would you want to give up, a business that was doing pretty good to just leave it, sell it, and just go travel?
I got to the point where, I was approaching 40 years old, and I wanted to just travel and see the world, get some world experience. I had a few friends that traveled through the world, and they had world experience. They talked about the places they've been. I never had the time to go to these places. I traveled all throughout the U.S., but I never did any international traveling.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, too, I was running across people like Charles Tyler, rest in peace.
Right.
I ran across Charles Tyler. He was telling people to escape the matrix.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the mindset of wanting to leave the matrix. I wanted to try something different. So I pretty much just sold my business and prepared myself to travel. Even when I had my business going on, I really didn't really have time to really manage my business at one time because I was busy doing radio in Atlanta and traveling a whole lot. And even though the business was doing pretty good, they were stealing from me also. My employees were stealing. So what I did, I just shut the business down. I just said, I can always come back and start another business. I'm capable of doing that again.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this is the time to travel while I'm still young. I didn't want to wait till I get older and try to travel. I felt like that was the right time to do it.
All right, and let me just do one thing. Shout out to my uncle, even though he's younger than me. HC Logistics 3434. You guys are very familiar with him. He's been on this channel a few times. I know Black American Expat and Dr. Mike. You guys fellowship with him too. He
Yes.
just came
Yeah.
from the
Yeah, we
Philippines.
do.
Successful brother. I cannot say enough about this man. He's such a supportive guy. He makes a ton of money, tries to help brothers all the time. He says, "Thanks, O'Shea, for this show. Much appreciated. Appreciate your hard work to help us, brothers. Man, I appreciate you for helping brothers, man. Talking about me, you're probably one of the most helpful brothers over here in Black YouTube, man. So I got a lot of love for you, and thank you for your support, brothers. Much appreciated. Let me do this before we get to Reverend Dr. Mike over here. Okay. I need you guys to like the video, right? And I want to stress that it's important when we have Black men that are on here trying to tell you their experience, right? We have one brother that's in the Philippines right now. It's 5 a.m. He stayed up, got up just for this interview. Okay, so you guys understand. It's 10:40 here in Poland. I was asleep. We got up. He got up. All right, and Dr. Mike probably has something that he was doing. We just want you guys to like the video. Okay, we're in 3 different countries at this time. I'm in Poland. He's in the Philippines. Dr. Mike's in the United States. So, guys, it took a lot of planning to get this show together. Let's go ahead and just at least like the video while we're coming to you with this great topic. And for those on the restream, we definitely appreciate it. Appreciate you guys. Now, Dr. Mike, let's talk about you, okay? Because I think Black American Expat, he just got a passport in 2016. You, on the other hand, started going to the Philippines. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you good. I'll go ahead and lay it out for you guys. See, me, I come from a strong military background as well. My father was in the military, so I had my passport since I was a kid. So, like, the first place that we actually moved to international was Okinawa, Japan. So I lived there for a couple years. Then we went to Kuwait. Then we went to Dubai, United Arab Emirates. So I can say that I'm fortunate enough to be able to see different parts of the world. Okay. Because that was basically my father's career. So I kind of went wherever my dad went. But he decided that he wanted to settle in the Philippines. At that time, I was living here in the United States with my mom. Of course, my parents are divorced. So, he said, "Son, I want you to come check out the Philippines." And I'm like, I don't know nothing about the Philippines, man. First thing I did my research on, I realized it was in Asia. So that was a check mark. I had good experiences living in Japan, so I knew I was going to like it. So I came over there one summer, kicked it, realized that that is the place that I wanted to spend a fair amount of time of my life. And, it just gave me a chance to get out of the U.S., man. I mean, I got kind of tired of living that same life, man. And I come from a small town here in North Carolina, so there's not really much popping off and there's not really a lot going on. So with that being said, I was fortunate enough, I'm not going to lie, I was fortunate enough to be able to go overseas and live with my father for an extended period of time. So that's kind of how I ended up in the Philippines. That's kind of like my story right there.
Okay. Shout out to my man, City of Truth, out of my home state of California, man. Good to see the brother, formerly known as Incorporated Boy 91. Okay. So good to see him, man. Brother has a good channel. Me and him have some back and forth. Let me kind of go get to you. Okay. So you went there first at age 17. Okay.
Right.
And I'm going to ask Black American Expat the same question. What was your impression when you first got there in the Philippines? What were you think when you first got there? What was your impression of the country?
I mean, my impression was, damn, where the hell did I get myself into? When I got here, okay. I see like a bunch of, security here is real tight. Like when you go to the malls, you go to the banks, you're going to always see an armed guard with guns. So that was my first impression, like what's really going on here. But I wasn't really aware of the situation that go on here with terrorists in the lower part of the Philippines. But it really hasn't been no threat up here, but my first impression also was the poverty I seen and also the humidity here. The humidity here is so high.
Let's talk about the poverty thing, man, because when you first went to the Philippines, did you go to visit first and come back, or you just moved?
I just moved. I did research on the internet for like a whole year. I watched different other expats over here on YouTube. I watched them and I did my research. I reached out to a couple of people and they was giving me insight. And I just prepared while I was in the U.S. and moved over here.
Okay, let me ask a few questions about that real quick before we get back to Dr. Mike. Okay, so most people will go someplace a few times. You just got up and moved. Now let me. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying I just moved. Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. So let's talk about that for a minute. When you decided to move, what cities? Because the Philippines is a pretty big country.
Yes.
What city did you decide this is where I'm going to move? This is where I'm going to live. I know you went to the farmers, but what city did you decide to move to first and why?
The first city I wanted to move to was Manila. I wanted to move in the Metro Manila area.
Okay.
But I ended up moving to Pulilan, Bulacan. I ended up moving there, and I moved there because it was in the province. And the air there is much cleaner. They got clean air there, no pollution. Mm-hmm. And it's much cleaner up there too than it is in the Manila area. So I ended up moving to Pulilan, which is in Bulacan, right outside of Manila.
Okay, right outside of Manila. Let's talk about a few things. Let's talk about this whole poverty. Now we're going to get to the rent and the apartment stuff like that before we get to the women. But poverty. Let's talk about the poverty that you saw.
Man, it was unbelievable. That was my first taste of seeing third world poverty here. When I got here, I seen people living under way worse conditions that we see in the U.S. What we call poverty in the U.S. is nothing compared to what you see over here.
What do you mean? What do you mean when you say that? What do you mean when you say that?
Over here, people is very, very poor. They live off very little money. You got people that's sleeping all on the streets, people all over the place, laying down on the streets. And people, and the thing about here, even though people live in poverty, they're not complaining about it. They're not sad. These people are happy. Mm-hmm. They happy and they adjust to it.
Okay. Let me kind of go to Dr. Mike. Again, what was your first experience when you first land in the Philippines? Do you remember what city it was, and what was your first thoughts about it?
Oh yeah. Well, I landed also in Manila as well, and like we have a place there. So when I arrived at nighttime, like my first time there. So my father picked me up from the airport. We went to where we lived at, and then the next morning he woke me up and he said, "I want to go." His son, come with me. I want to go show you something. So we walk outside where the condo was. We walk down the street, and like I said, like Black American Expat said, man. The poverty level is beyond anything that you've ever imagined. on some levels, it's on course with some parts of Africa. I'm not going to say it's like Africa, but there are some impoverished levels in the Philippines that could be on par with some parts of Africa as well. So when you go outside, I mean, it's trash, it stinks, piss, you smell this stuff, man. I mean, when you're
Oh
walking
yeah.
on the streets in some parts, especially in the city area, you smell this stuff. And I mean, it's going to hit you. It's going to hit you like a ton of bricks, and you're not going to be prepared for it. Like I said, babies, old people, young people, it doesn't matter. Poverty has no age limit. So, people that were born in that particular way of life, most of them die in that particular way of life. And there's not a lot that us as foreigners coming into the country can actually do about it. But, we can sit there and we can, get involved in any way that we can. Jay's into his philanthropic endeavors. Black American Expat. He's definitely doing what he can behind the scenes and stuff. And I recognize that and I respect that. And it's just a lot of things that are going on in the country in reference to the poverty level. It's something else, man. It's something you're not prepared for. You can see the pictures and stuff like that, but until you see it firsthand, it's nothing like you've ever seen before. Especially here in the United States, it doesn't even come close.
Okay. Here's a question, right? Because I mean, I've never lived, and there's this guy. Stop the show. There's a guy posting the same thing about the HIV rates. Bro, we get it. Okay, we're gonna talk about that, but do not fucking spam my chat every 5 seconds. If you do that, I will kick you out of my channel. Right? Don't be a bitch. Say what you need to say. If you want us to talk about it, then super chat it, and we will talk about it. Don't be a bitch all fucking day writing and copy and pasting the same fucking thing. You need to go do something with yourself, play with your balls or something, go fucking jump off a cliff, do something like kill yourself, something beneficial to society. Do not just come in here and put the same fucking thing in the chat all the time. Again, back to the show. And living in when I went to Africa and I saw like this poverty also in Uganda, coming from the West, it can make you very uncomfortable, right? Because I don't know about the Philippines, but you got people begging, always asking for something. People overcharging you for prices and things like that. It's like, okay, look, let me go back to the first world, right? Because at least it's operated better. Let me ask you this. What keeps you in the Philippines despite the poverty? Like, did you ever come to a point that you said, you know what, I want to go back to the States? This is cool, but I want to go back to the States. That's for Black American Expat.
Okay, I feel that way all the time. I mean, I feel that way from time to time. I mean, I get homesick sometimes too. But like I said, I'm here. I mean, I supposed to left the country last year. I supposed to left like in December, but I'm still here because I got a son now. I got a son here now, so I'm here because of my baby. And my lease is up in my apartment in December. When my lease is up, probably between December and February of next year, I'm leaving the Philippines, going to Medellin, Colombia.
Okay. Why Medellin, Colombia?
Oh, it's a beautiful place. I always wanted to go there. The weather there is nice. Cost of living there is pretty good. It's just somewhere I want to go to.
Okay. Let me do this real quick. Shout out to my man, Justice for All, Dollar Super Chats, my boy right there. My boy, Dr. Reynold Cherry, great expect chats. Signed up for the forum earlier today. Didn't see the approval link yet. Reynold, everybody that signed up for the forum is approved now. Just go on and I approved you. Everybody's approved. I don't know what's going on with the approval link. If you signed up for the forum, everybody's been approved. So just go on and post, okay? So if you signed up for the forum, just check back in a few hours, assuming that you're approved. So everybody's approved. Go ahead and post, brother. Let me ask you this, Dr. Mike. Same question that I asked him. What was the reason? What kept you there? What kept you in the Philippines for so long?
I guess the only thing that I could really say is the fact that I adjusted very well. And to be honest with you, I had somebody with me. I had my father and my older brother with me. Like within the first 2 years I was there, I had family with me. So I wasn't alone. I mean, it's quite the opposite with Jay, the Black American Expat. He kind of came by himself and that was it. But I had family with me. I mean, like I said, my brother, he graduated also from the Philippines as well, but he went into the Air Force. And my father, he went back to work. He did some contracting stuff. So I was basically in the country by myself for an extended period of time. But before that, I had people with me, so I wasn't really much of an adjustment period. And to me, what really keeps me around, it's really a easier standard of living. I'm not gonna lie, it's a
Mhm.
third world country, and you get third world prices. You can live relatively good off of next to nothing. You can live real good off of very little money. So that's one of the reasons why it's a very attractive place for a lot of foreigners and a lot of expats coming into the country, young or old, for the experiences. And they do have a lot of beautiful places. I know we talk about the poverty, but I don't want to sit there and act like the Philippines doesn't have something to offer. I mean, if you're into going to like the beaches and they have a lot of things to offer. They have good malls too. I mean, a lot of people think third world you're not going to have the same things that you would have in the United States, but you can relatively adjust well in
Mhm.
coming to the Philippines because they do have a standard of living that's pretty low, but they have a lot to offer in exchange for like the poverty and stuff that they also have in the country.
Okay, okay. Shout out to my man Blake 1980 man for the PayPal donation of $10. Thank you so much, brother. Let me kind of go back to this real quick. Black American expat. Dr. Mike says something very important. He had family there to support him, not necessarily financially, but emotionally. He had a support system already there. Now, you, on the other hand, you're a person traveling alone. You don't know anybody, right? And you're kind of just like
Mm-mm.
me coming, and even you're even in a worse situation than me because when I'm coming to Poland, at least I'm in school, I meet classmates, stuff like that. You know what I mean? How can you move to a country you don't know anybody? And then how do you survive that? What are some tips you would give a brother that wants to just move somewhere and just boom, just show the fuck up? And how do you stay there and get through it without a support system?
I mean, one thing about me is like I'm a loner. So even when I was in the U.S., I traveled places alone. I went places. People always ask me why, like, how'd you go to this place? You don't know no one here. I'm like, I don't have to really know no one. When I go places, I always meet good people though. I always draw good people around when I go places. So basically, it's just in my instincts to really travel alone. To go like when I go places, I always meet good people though wherever I go.
Okay, okay. Let me talk about this real quick before we get into the women. Let me talk about these easier standards of living. Dr. Mike, explain to me what you mean when you say easier standards of living. Can you compare it to the United States? What makes it so much easier?
In reference to food, travel, and things like that, stuff is relatively cheap. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you can get like cheap electronics, like gadgets, like Apple and Samsung phones and stuff like that, because
Okay.
from that perspective, it's very expensive. Okay.
Okay.
And like branded stuff, like Nikes and stuff like that, that stuff is expensive. But in reference to everyday living, everyday items, going to the grocery store, market, stuff like that,
Hmm.
stuff is just cheap. It's a whole lot cheaper than it is in the United States. And like if we're talking about just the food in general, like things are a lot fresher. It's not, you can get things at the market that were just cut up that morning.
Okay.
So aside from the fact that it is cheaper there, a lot of things are a lot fresher than they are in the United States in reference to like foods and stuff at like the groceries, the grocery stores and stuff like that. But traveling around is easy. They have different modes of transportation. Of course, you could take a taxi, but they also have this thing that's known as the jeepney. Basically, it's just an old jeep that was left behind during war times when the U.S. was well established in the Philippines during wartime. What
Hmm.
they did is they converted it into like a place where multiple people can ride on it at one time, and it just goes through a route throughout the city in which you're living in, and you just pay like basically pennies on the dollar. I mean, it's really cheap to get around that way.
Okay.
And that was how I kind of immersed myself in the culture, taking the jeeps and stuff like that. So, in basic everyday things like traveling, food and stuff like that, I mean, that's pretty much how it can be cheap for us foreigners coming from the United States.
Okay. 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 Cool. Let me kind of do this and kind of take the conversation this way. um, what I would like to know is, Black American expat. Let's talk about what we're talking about with reference to renting a place and all of this stuff. Um, you know, take me to, if you're an expat, you want to live in a nice area, let's say in the city that you're living in. How much money am I going to pay? What am I looking at for a cell phone bill? What am I looking at for electricity? What am I looking for the internet? Now I know the internet's a little bit slow from what I hear in the Philippines. So talk to me about these things as much as you can. Actually, if you could talk about your current situation, what you have right now, that'd be
Okay.
very helpful.
Okay. I mean, prices can range anywhere depending on what type of lifestyle you want to live. You can find a place up here for as low as $60 a month. I
Okay.
mean, all the way up there. Like where I stay at now, I'm in a two-bedroom condo. And it's fully furnished with everything. I just came here with my luggage, and I paid like 15,000 pesos a month, which is $300. Um, and it's a pretty good standard of living where I'm at because we got like three swimming pools, we got basketball courts, gym, all of that on the premises. We got security. I got security at the gate. I got a doorman. Um, I get all of that for $300 a month. That's not bad.
Okay.
I mean, that's a pretty good life. Like it just depends on what you want, but you can live here very cheap. I mean, for a fraction of the price you'll pay in the U.S.
Okay. Okay.
Like right now, like you wanted me to elaborate on my bills too. Like
Sure.
my electric bill be like in it given month, my light bill can be anywhere from $50 to 75 at the most. And I keep my air conditioner running 24/7 all the time. I never turn my AC off. So
Okay.
I mean that's a pretty good deal because in the U.S. my light bill was like $300-400 when I keep my air conditioner running. And my cell phone here, they don't really have a cell phone plan. They don't have a plan here. You got to buy what they call load. And like every 3 days, I might buy 50 pesos a load, which is $1.
Okay.
So every month, my phone bill can probably be anywhere from like $15 to $20 a month on my phone.
Okay.
My internet service right now, I got 50 Mbps of internet. So that's like right now I'm paying $36 a month for that. And I buy groceries. Me and Rose, we eat pretty much off anywhere from $80 to $100 a month on groceries.
Wow. So let me talk to you about that. Let me get to the internet, right? Because we are. I know you do the YouTube thing, like as kind of as a hobby, because you really don't need the money. But the 50 megabits per second, $36 a month. Is there faster internet available, or just the fastest they have?
They got faster. They got like 100 Mbps. That's like that's gonna cost almost $80 a month for that.
Okay, so 100 megabits per second. Okay. All right, all right. And then let me kind of also ask, um, let's say if you want to go out, maybe to the movies, you want to go out to a nice restaurant, things like that.
Yeah, we just went to the movies last week. I did a video where we went to see Black Panther, and two tickets from we caught the 9 o'clock show. For two tickets, it cost me 480 pesos, which is like a little bit over $9. I paid for two tickets. And then we got large popcorn, a large soda, large water. That was like $3. So I spent less than $15 on a movie day here.
Damn, for two people.
Two people.
Okay, okay. Now, Dr. Mike, what was your experience? I know you haven't been in Brazil for almost 2 years?
Yeah, I left February of 2017. So yeah, it's probably just a little over a year.
A
Just a
little over a
little
year.
over a year.
Okay. And how much do you remember any of the prices? Um,
Oh yeah.
okay, go ahead. Go
Oh
ahead over
yeah.
some of the prices
I'm
for me
good.
real quick.
Okay, well, like Jay said, man, going to the movie is relatively cheap. I mean, you can do very well. You can go on a date and stuff like that. But let's say you want to eat at one of the more expensive restaurants. They do have TGI Fridays and places like that in the Philippines. Yeah, that's going to cost you. Like, if you want to eat by yourself, you may pay $25 for a meal over there. But if you want to have a companion with you, you may spend anywhere between $50 and $60 for a good sit down restaurant of an American franchise chain or something like that. So yeah, but they still have. I want people to understand they still have McDonald's, KFC, Pizza Hut, and stuff like that. So it's not like you're gonna completely come to the Philippines and have to forfeit, most of the food that you guys are already used to if you're living in the United States. You're not gonna have to live without that stuff if you can't live without it. So going to, like, let's say for example, if you want to go to a fast food restaurant like McDonald's and stuff, you can get a chicken meal with some rice and chicken and a drink all for $1. But I
Hmm.
want you to understand. Yeah, I want you to understand the Philippine sizes, like the small, medium, large, are not the same as it is in the United States. I think the large size at McDonald's is the large size in the Philippines is about the size of a medium in the United States. So you're gonna have to scale back on sizes and stuff like that. But that's kind of how it's really different in reference to like eating at fast food chains. But prices to go do things, and I mean, with the exception of buying gadgets and stuff like that, everything is really cheap. You can travel around the country cheap, take taxis around the country cheap. I mean, you're not gonna really spend much, but like Jay said, it does depend on your standard of living.
Okay.
If you come to the country with the westernized American mentality, you're gonna probably spend a whole lot more.
Hmm.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Okay. Okay. So let me do this real quick, guys. I have some brothers that have already donated something in the super chat. Thank you, brothers, man. I'll see you guys. Let me do me a favor real quick while I go ahead and read the super chats. We got 160 brothers that are already that are already in the building. And then shout out my man Ricky E245 $20 super chat. Let me go ahead and read some of the names, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna promote both these brothers' channels. I have Black American Expats channel already in the description, but I'll go ahead and put Dr. Mike's in the description also. So just give me a second. Let me read some of these people here. My boy Nathan Francis, Black American Expat. Your background is nice. Where are you? Oh, okay. They're thinking that. Go ahead and tell them what the background is. Black American Expat.
Oh yeah, I'm in Kazan City. I'm in Kazan City.
Yeah, I think it's what he's saying is that
Yeah,
background is actually a green screen, right?
yeah, the background is green screen I'm using.
Okay. Okay, this is a green screen. Okay, so let's do this real quick. Okay, we have 162 people watching right now. Okay, go ahead and get the likes. If I need to get to 100, we only have 84. And now we're going to get into what this is all about: Filipino women versus American women. Okay, we're gonna really break through because we had to give a backstory. We couldn't just come on here and be with the thirsty shit, nigga. We had to, we had to at least be professional. Now we can be niggified in this motherfucker. We gonna turn it up. We gonna turn
Oh
it up.
yeah.
Fuck it. We gonna turn it up. Okay. Now let me start with Black American Expat. Now I know that. Now let's talk about some of your relationships. I know you're from the Alabama area, right?
Yes.
Okay. How was some of the relationships with some of the women that you were dealing with, man, when you were in the Matrix?
Wow. I mean the women there.
He said,
I
"Wow."
mean the women there. Man, there's a big difference, man. The women there. I mean, most of those women there was materialistic, and most of them women they wanted to know what you have, where you work at, what kind of car you drive, where you stay, and mostly they was concerned about material things. I mean, I dealt with quite a few people, man. I had some crazy experience there. But here is like night and day. Like over here, it's not about what you got. Uh, I mean, you can have very little and still get a good girl. Even Dr. Mike, there's a couple of guys we know on YouTube. They don't really have a lot of money over here. I
Yep.
mean, there's some guys over here living off $500 a month we know of, and they keep a
Mm.
girlfriend. I mean, they keep a girlfriend, they keep a woman. So I mean, here the women are more nice, man. The women here they cater to you, they take care of you. I mean, the women here they gonna cook your food, they gonna wash your clothes, they gonna give you a massage. I mean, you don't even have to ask for it. They just take good care of the man here. I mean, you ask a woman to give you a massage in the U.S., you might get cussed out. I mean, or you ask someone to make you a sandwich, they said make your own damn sandwich. But over here, I mean, the women they cater to the men. They know how to treat men. And like I said, it's a total difference. It's a difference. It's like night and day.
Okay, let me kind of do. Let me ask this. You said that and this is still with a Black American expat. When you're dealing with women in America, and I'm assuming that were you dealing with the majority was it African American women?
I dealt with different type of women in the U.S. I dealt with Latino women.
Okay.
I dealt with black women, white women. I dealt with them all. I dealt with them all.
Okay. So with dealing with them all, let me ask you this: were they all interested? You know, for the most part, in what do you do, where do you work, how much money do you make, or was it more Black American women that had these kind of attitudes?
Mostly the black women I dealt with, and some of the white women. I mean, some of the white women just as ratchet as the black women. I mean, it got to the point where most of the white women I was talking to, they wanted to be black. They tried to act black, and they was ratchet. So it was just the same. But the Latino women, most of the Latino women I dealt with, they pretty much held their own. They really didn't care about what you had.
Okay.
It was a difference.
So you did notice in the United States, based on your experience, that according to the races or cultures of women in the USA, they were different
Oh yes.
for the most part. Okay. Okay. Um, so again, now we go to Dr. Mike. Now, Dr. Mike, I know you went to Brazil. I mean, not Brazil, but you went to the Philippines a little bit earlier in your life.
Right.
What has been your experience in the United States with American women and how they treat you?
You know what, man? I'm gonna be 100% real, man. Before I left here, none of these girls were checking for me. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't like in high school and stuff. I just wasn't that kid. That wasn't me. I wasn't getting all the girls. I wasn't the athlete. I was kind of book smart. I did all right. I had a pretty good GPA and stuff, but that's kind of where my focus was. So there's probably a lot of people that can relate. So I really didn't have a lot of relationships with any kind of women. I mean, don't get me wrong, I had attractions to, black women, white women, all kinds of women, but hey, none of them were paying me no attention. But here's the
Mhm.
kicker. I go to the Philippines and just about everybody's paying you attention, right? Like
Mhm.
all
Oh
the
yeah.
girls are staring at you. They want to know
Hmm.
about this black guy. They want to
Mhm.
know, where does he come from? Who is he? He looks like a superstar. Because I'm telling you right now, as soon as you touch down, you're going to remind them of some type of athlete or a singer or a dancer. They always want to
Exactly.
say, you look like somebody. LeBron James, you name it, Usher, Akon, whatever. They're gonna compare you to somebody who is black, and you just run with it, man. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's like, not like Jay said, it's night and day. But for me it was a little bit different. But what's the kicker is I come back home, like when I go overseas and people see my pictures on my Facebook and my MySpace, that's when everybody want to come talking to you. Like, now the girls that won't checking for you, the ones that won't really caring about what you was doing with your life, you get on Facebook, or you show people your lifestyle living overseas. Now all of a sudden people want to slide into your DMs and slide into your messages and see what you're doing and how you been and stuff like that. So they see you doing good somewhere else in another part of the world, another part of the country, and I kind of feel like people start to get jealous.
Mhm. Mhm.
I started to feel like, okay, so y'all didn't care about me before I moved, but I go away, you see me kicking it because I'm not gonna lie, I'm trying to shit on some people, so I'm taking pictures with the prettiest Filipinas you can actually imagine, and I'm doing it on purpose. I'm actually doing it with a purpose. I'm not gonna lie, but I was young, like that was back when I was like 18 and 19 when I first moved away, so it is like night and day, and they really do check for you, and they really do have a genuine interest in where you come from. And that's like what I really respect about Filipino women, and how they do differ from some women here in the United States or in westernized cultures.
Okay, let me ask you this real quick. Since you've been back, right? You've been back in the States
Hmm.
now. How are women? I mean, do you still have the same? Are women checking for you more so? I'm talking about women who don't know you. Are people
You
still
know what?
judging you
Yeah.
based off how much you make? Like he's saying, do you still get the same things that he's talking about?
um nah, I mean, see, like, I think you said it best. Your mentality is different as a human being and as an individual. When you go overseas or when you go anywhere and you come back to where you're from, you
Okay.
can't go back to being the same person you was, number one. And it's kind of hard for me to go back to hanging out with the same people that I used to kick it with before I left. A lot of my friends
Mhm.
are still here in my area that I went to high school with, but we're in two different lanes. We're not on the same page anymore. So I really find it hard to really connect with a lot of people. But I do realize one thing that the Philippines did for me. It built my confidence. All right. I got to say that. I mean, I was confident before, don't get me wrong, but going overseas and dealing with women who I really felt were genuinely attracted to me. A lot of people will say, "Oh, it's because you have money." I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna dead that right now. I was a college kid, man. I didn't have it like that. I wasn't balling out of control. I may have had a little bit more money than they had because I was, having US dollars, but I wasn't balling out of control like that. So it wasn't because I had money and I didn't have to use money to get any of these women. They just genuinely wanted to know about this black guy, kind of for lack of a better term. But it did build my confidence. When I came back here, I found it easier to talk to women. I found it easier for me to have a conversation with a girl maybe that I may have not had before I left. It was a little bit easier for me to conversate, with women here in the United States. And, things have been pretty smooth since I've been back. So I do have to give credit where credit is due.
Okay, let me kind of talk about this real quick because I'm gonna have some people that are gonna stay in the chat like Black American Expat. They're gonna say, okay, the reason why, and shout out to my man Keep It Take. I used to get called Obama overseas. Shout out to the brother man to our super chat. Hey guys, do me a favor, man. Get the likes up. We have 181 people watching right now. All right. For those people who want to subscribe to Black American Expat, I'm gonna go ahead and post his link. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing for Dr. Mike. So, guys, this is what I want you to do. He has 1,925 subscribers, or 1,925, or 1,939 right now. Let's go ahead and get the brother to 2,000 before we get off the air. So, guys, I'm posting his link right there in the chat. He's one of our moderators. So, show the moderator some love, man. Go ahead and subscribe to his channel. Hit the bell. Subscribe. He has a very good vlog that comes out. We're going to do the same thing with Dr. Mike here very shortly. His information's in the description. So for all those watching the restream, go to the description, subscribe to the channel. Let me ask you this. Black American Expat, you're gonna hear these dudes, they're gonna say, hey, man, look, the reason why these women are nice to you is number one is because they're poor. So you're taking advantage of them because they're poor. So because they're poor, of course, they're going to be catering to you. That's the reason why they're doing what they're doing, because they're poor. You know what I mean? It's not like if they were not poor, they would not be doing this. They wouldn't treat you nice if they also had money too. What do you say to these guys that have that particular mindset?
I mean, you got some of the women, they do cater to you because you got something. You got some gold diggers here too. I'm not gonna say all the women's here is legit. You got some women's here too they out the money. They trying to get what they can from you because you're a foreigner. But then you got a lot of women here that's not like that either. You got some women's here that's legit. I mean, here it's just a lot of nice women's here. Women's is in their culture here to kind of be nice. Even with the poor Filipino guys, I see them with nice women. I mean, and most of the time here, the women, they're gonna be the one working, not the men. The women take care of the men. I mean, they treat those guys nice too. So, I mean, and then like we were talking about one of my friends here. I know a couple of people here that make less than $500 or right at $500, and the women treat them nice too. So, I mean, you got some good and you got some bad. You got some women here that's after the money. You got some that's not.
Okay, here's a question I want to start with. Again, Black American Expat. We're going to go back to Dr. Mike. This is what I've heard about Filipino women. I can't say that it's true, which is somewhat similar of what I heard of what I've seen in like African women, right? What I hear is this. Okay, so if you're a black guy in the Philippines, they might think that you're African, and they may find out you're African American, but to them, they're never going to treat you like they treat the white guy. So if the guy is making $500 a month, it's probably because he's white, and the whole little white supremacy thing is real big in the Philippines. They have the skin lightening situations going on down there. What would you say about that? Now, are the guys do you know? Do they? Is it a or what race are they? I guess.
The guy, he's white. The one I know.
Okay.
That living off 500, he's white. But with the color thing. The color is not really based on race, really it's based on the class. Like here, if you got white skin, they look at it as like you well off. You work inside, you got a lot of money. They associate white skin with wealth. If you got dark skin, that means you work outside on a farm somewhere and you poor. But they don't look at me like that by me being a black American. They only look at each other in that way. I mean, with me, they don't look at me like I'm poor because I mean they know I got money and they treat me like I get treated the same way as the white foreigners get treated. I mean, they try to scam me the same way they try to scam them. I mean, I'm gonna pay the foreign price or like the white man pay the foreign price. I'm gonna pay the same price. Um, but you got some women here that do prefer white men. You got some that prefer white people. I mean, and but there's a lot of people that don't look at. Majority of the people here don't really look at the race. They look at your character. Majority of the women here. I never had a problem talking to a woman or meeting a woman here because me being black. You got a lot of women here that prefer black guys. I mean, even the woman I got, Rose, she prefer black guys, and then there's a lot of more girls I know here that prefer black guys. Everybody had their own preference. But most of the people here don't really look at your color if you're a foreigner. They see you as a foreigner.
Okay, okay. Let me kind of get to that. Okay, because that that's very interesting. Now, how? Now, I mean, I'm asking this because are there a lot of black guys in the Philippines? Did she date black guys before you, or?
It's a few black guys here. It's not a lot. I mean, it's a few black guys here. You'll see black guys here and there, in different places. It's gonna be majority white. You got people. You got some Arabian people here. You got people here from all over. Majority of the black guys I see is from Africa. There's a lot of Africans here too. They come here and go to school, and you got like a lot of black Americans that's here too. A lot of the guys, they old heads. They've been here since like the 1980s. A lot of them they served in the military. They was here at Clark Military Base. And when they shut the air base, the military base down, a lot of those people they stayed here. They didn't go back home.
Okay.
But you got a handful of black people here. It's not a lot, but you got. Since I've been here this last year, since I've been here, I'm seeing more and more black people coming. I have also encouraged a lot of black people that listen to my channel to come here for the first time.
Okay.
I mean, I encourage a lot of people since I've been here to come to the Philippines. I'm seeing more and more younger black Americans coming over here.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let me say the same thing, Dr. Mike, because and let me just real quick. Let me shout out to the brothers. Nigga with a Buick $2 super chat. I like that name, man. Lamar Calendar $10 super chat. And let me just say this, guys. I really appreciate the brothers that are donating in the super chat. I know I do a lot of streams, so you can't donate to all of them. But I do want to just say this while we're on the stream, brothers. It's because of your financial support that we've been able to put a lot of the infrastructure that we have right now on the site. We have the forum now. Okay, the forum is popping. We have our own community. We're going to do some contests on the forums. We're going to have women on the forum. We're going to have models on the site. We're doing a lot of different things on NegroManosphere.com, and we're doing it because of the support that we're able to get from the brothers, whether it's on Patreon or whether it's on the super chat. So again, we have free ebooks for those of you who have never gotten the free ebooks or my comic. It's totally free, right? All you got to do is press 1 in your email. I'll send all that to you. This is the reason why, we want to support the brothers here. Because like I said, I'm in Poland. One of our brothers is in the Philippines right now. So we're giving this information. So guys, like I said, if you can support the stream by liking the video, it's always good. If you can support the stream with the super chat donation, it could be 99 cents, it could be whatever. Just let us know that you appreciate what we're doing. And again, all of this is coming back to you because we're able to do so many great things. Thank you, Marlon Brown. And I expect to see everybody on the forum. Okay. And let me talk to you about that. I'll put the link in the description. We have 4 accounts waiting activation right now. Let me go ahead and do that. And let me go ahead. So Just Chill, Marlon Macko, B Clef, and 28 Mansions. All of you brothers are now activated onto the forum. Okay, everybody's activated. So guys, thank you for that. Let me ask you, Dr. Mike. They're gonna say that definitely these women only want you for your money, and they're gonna prefer white guys over you than black guys.
You know what, man? I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I'm not gonna sit like Jay said, man. Some women do prefer black guys. in a sense. And it's not because they dated these guys before. It's just because, like I mentioned before, they may be attracted to like maybe an athlete or a singer or a dancer. They may have an attraction to black guys from the perception that they've seen on TV or something like that. It doesn't necessarily mean that they dated one before. They may actually believe that black is beautiful, and that's, that's cool.
Hmm.
But I'm more of a realist, and I know one time before in a video, it was a long time ago that I made, I said that 9 times out of 10 they may choose the white guy over the black guy. Now that percentage is probably a little stretched, but I'm telling you right now that 10% is a large percent. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that every girl you talk to in the Philippines is going to be attracted to you. I'm not going to sit here and say you're going to get every woman in the Philippines, but I'm telling you, you'll probably be able to talk to at least a third of the women that you talk to will be attracted to you as well, and you'll definitely be able to adjust well in the country. So it's not nothing that really you should be bothered by. But again, it goes back to the colonial times when they were ruled by the Spaniards, wherein white was perceived as beautiful. Like, like Jay said, I mean, that's just the way it is, and that's just their mentality. It doesn't mean that they don't like us or anything like that. It's just that the way it's been ingrained in their head for so many years, white is the way to go sometimes. That's kind of how it's perceived. And for those that say they just come after us for money, I kind of believe that to be, BS to an extent. But sometimes there are those gold digging women. I mean, that's anywhere in the world. You can't say that if you go to Brazil or Colombia or DR that you're not going to have those group of women that just know that you're a foreigner and they're not going to come after you because they believe that you have money. I mean, O'Shea, you said it yourself. When you were in Africa, some of the women kind of hit you up with stuff like that too. So
Yeah.
again, it can happen to any of us in any part of the country. So to say that Filipino women specifically are
Hmm.
only after foreigners because they have money, you can say that anywhere in the world because there are those chosen few that are like that, but not all of them are like that. And yeah, they do give a bad name for the good ones. They give Filipino women a bad reputation, but you kind of have to look past that. It's going to happen anywhere in the world. So it's kind of something you can't really say is specific to like the Philippines or one particular part of the world. So, yeah.
Okay, let me kind of ask this, and I hear when I hear about like the Philippines, Thailand, Brazil, Dominican Republic, one of the first things I think about is, oh boy, here comes the prostitution, right? So in the Philippines is like, from what I hear, it's so different where you could do like something called a bar fine. Like you could just like go, yeah, let me get some. Let's talk about that real quick. What is a bar fine? I'm gonna start with Black American Expat. What is a bar fine and does it exist in the Philippines?
Yeah, bar fine exists here in the Philippines. You go to the bar and you pay a bar fine for the girl to leave. Um, like most people here, they come to a place called English City. English City is known. Walking Street, Fields Avenue is known for the bars and the bar girl. And you got a lot of guys come here just for that. They come here to meet the bar girls. You pay your bar fine, and then you take the girl away to wherever, to the hotel or wherever you take her to, and do your thing. I mean, then they got places too. You're gonna pay more money. Like you got a lot of people. They come here. They go to in Makati. They got Burgo Street. A lot of people go there. They got bars there too. It's a lot of upscale bars. Then they got places here like place called Air Force One. You go in Air Force One. You pick the women's you want. They got numbers. I heard it's kind of like an upscale type place. Then you got another place called LA. I think the LA Cafe. People go there. It's
Mm,
like a bunch of freelancers there. Freelancers there. Freelancers is girls that work the street.
okay.
You got a bunch of freelancers that go there. I mean, that club open 24 hours, 7 days a week. You can go there at any given time and negotiate with a woman there. You don't have to pay a bar fine. You just negotiate with that woman and pay whatever price y'all negotiate. Then you got a lot of ladies that work the street too. I see ladies all the time that work the street and
Mm,
they'll charge anywhere from like 200 pesos, 500
Mm.
pesos. That's anywhere from $4 to $10 on the
damn.
street. I mean, and a lot of times people they'll pick up the girls, take them to one of the hourly hotels. You can get like an hourly hotel, 2 hours for like maybe 300 pesos, which is $6. A lot of people do that too.
Hmm.
Boy, there's a lot of fucking going on. Okay, so then let me get to Dr. Mike. All right, so what was your experience, man, when you saw you made a few videos about this whole prostitution epidemic thing that was kind of going on.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
and shout out to my man Brian Tim. Thank you for the $5 super chat, man. I really, really appreciate that, brothers. Let's go ahead and get the likes up on the video. And again, I want to just say before we get to Dr. Mike, everybody has been approved on the forum. So you guys are more than welcome to go ahead and sign up. We have almost 200 active people on there right now. Go ahead, Dr. Mike.
All right. When I came there, like I said, I was pretty young, so my pops took me to the clubs and stuff, so I got to see what it was like. In reference to the bar fines and stuff like that, they have what is known as a mama sign, basically like the manager of all the girls, right? So
Mhm.
what you'll do is you'll sit down with her, and she'll tell you how much it is to take this girl out or that girl out or that girl out, and you negotiate with her. But what I noticed is, and like the easier and cheaper way to do it is, if you really want to talk to that girl and you don't really want to pay that fine, what you do is you slide her your phone number. If you have one of those prepaid numbers that Jay was talking about, you
Right.
slide her your on a card or something. You tell her to reach out to you that way, and if she's interested, she will. And then you could just negotiate direct with her without having to pay the bar fine, because the bar fine is the standard price. There is no negotiating with that. But you're right, O'Shea, man. Prostitution runs rampant in, Thailand for sure, and also in the Philippines. But I got acclimated with that very young, man. I think it was a phase. I mean, I seen it and I experienced it. It was all right, but
Hmm.
it's the women are relatively easy, and the thing is, like, you can meet these women in the mall.
Hmm.
You can meet them anywhere. They'll run up on you. I'm not gonna say they're aggressive, but you'll know the ones that are kind of for hire, because they kind of stare at you a lot more, and they'll look at you, and they'll definitely not be afraid to approach you. Unlike a normal
Mhm.
Filipino woman who will definitely will wait for you to come to her first. So, you'll be able to tell these types of women, and like Jay said, man, anywhere between 200, 500. You can negotiate that, plus get a room for 300 pesos. So you can knock some walls out for like $20. I mean, a place to stay and everything. So, it's crazy, and it's amazing to believe that it's that cheap. And let me be 100% clear with this, because I wanted to do a video on this, but I never did. There is no rule against prostitution in the Philippines. I'm not
Okay.
saying that it's legal, but I have yet to see a mandate or a rule in the country that says that prostitution is illegal. Matter of
Mhm.
fact, the current president he was the mayor of the area in which I lived in, which was known as Davao City, and he kind of provided health and benefits to like the women who work the streets and stuff. He provided free health care for them. So he knows why foreigners are coming to the country. He knows that that's going to be a big part of tourism in the Philippines. So I kind of feel like they just don't talk about it and they don't encourage it, but they don't discourage it in the country. So it's just kind of a weird setup over there. Again, 100% 180 degrees different, between living in the Philippines and living in the United States.
Okay. Let me kind of go with this because you've hit on some great stories. Um, and basically, and let me just say this: Grand Swing history. If you want us to talk about that, super chat, nigga. So let me just tell you right now. Don't be trying to post the same thing, bro. So let me talk about this real quick. Okay, you're there in the Philippines. You're dating a chick. Now I know that you have a baby by a young lady, a beautiful young lady named Rose, a Black American expat.
Hmm.
Um, she's very attractive, right? I mean, not trying to hit on your girl and nothing like that. I don't want you to be beating me up, brother. But this is what I want to say. How do you know that in dealing with Rose, right? What made her so much different than the other Filipino women that you dated? And how did you meet her?
Um, let's see what made her different. Um, Basically, like I said, I took my time. Like before I came here, I was talking to a few girls online on the internet, and I ran across a few scammers online. I ran across a few girls that was trying to hit me up for money and all that. Um, But when I ran across her, I could tell she was kind of sincere and legit, and I didn't really rush into anything. I talked to her online for over a year, and we talked all the time. I kind of just I didn't really know what to expect until when I got here. I mean, you don't really know who you got till you live with them, until you be with them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got here, I was checking her out, observing everything, and I mean, she seemed to be pretty straight up on the up and up. I mean, when I first got here, I was able to tell that she was on the up and up.
How? How are you able to tell?
I mean, I could tell she was genuine and that she was sincere. She wasn't like a lot of girls. Like I could see straight through the fake ass girls, the ones I see online, even the ones I see over here. I mean, I could tell that they being fake. They not being sincere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could tell when the women's all about the money. I mean, I could tell by the way they carry themselves, by the things they said. I mean, they talk about money and stuff all the time, but with Rose, I never had that experience with her. I didn't have that experience of her asking me like how much money. I had women used to ask me how much money I make and all that shit. I'm like, ain't none of your business. I mean, that's a red flag when you got women that ask you about your money and all that. But I never had that experience with her, and I could tell, like I said, through talking to her, that she wasn't like that. I mean, when I came here, I could tell that she was sincere and that she was legit.
Okay, let me kind of talk to you about this real quick because you know I know a guy who married somebody from the Philippines, and the family that she came from was like, dad was like the chief of police or something like that. And, so the family had at least some kind of stability. Um, when you date chicks in the Philippines and want to consider to marry, I'm not trying to be in your business or anything like that, but does class help? Like dating a woman that's already middle class, is that better than dating a woman that's poor in your experience?
Oh yeah, I mean that's always better. I mean, if you're dating a woman that's like middle class, I mean that's always a lot better because if you're dating a woman that's poor, you might have to help their family out. They might ask you to help the family out, or the family might see you as money. Uh, so I mean, so there's always a plus if you're dating a girl that's middle class. A woman that got something. That's a plus.
Okay. Now, I want to ask you one question, man, because I know the baby that you have is mixed, and I know, like in certain Asian cultures, um, if they're not purely the race, then it could be looked at as pejorative. I know, like Chinese people, I've seen Loser Lie Why in China. Shout out to that channel. I've been trying to get him on for a minute, and for whatever reason, we can't hook up. But he says, like people tend to look down on the black and Asian kids because they're not fully Chinese, so they don't want to accept them to be a part of their culture, stuff like that. How do people view your son because he's not fully Filipino? Is there a same issue there?
I don't really see that issue here. Uh, a matter of fact, you got a lot of women, and I know Mike might know about this too. There's a lot of women here that want blazing. We call them blazing kids when they black and Asian mixed together. There's a lot of women here that want blazing kids now. I mean, you go on Facebook in different groups. There's a lot of women that want to have a blazing child. I mean, uh, it seems to be very popular now. I don't have anyone really looking down on my child. If anything, people, I mean, they'll look at the child and they'll smile and I mean, they ask me like, is he part American? And I say yes. And I don't really see anything. I don't really see anything negative on that part.
Okay, let
Yeah,
me.
it's not frowned down upon. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, go
It's
ahead,
not.
O'Shea.
Go ahead. Do your thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to go ahead and add. Yeah, it's not really frowned down upon like it is in like other countries like China and stuff. Actually, they kind of view mixed babies as unique and exotic. So it's kind of something that's new to them. They're not used to seeing it on a regular basis. So it's kind of more of a fascination with it as opposed to them looking down upon it. Now, I'm not gonna say everybody is in agreement or on the same accord with that, and they say, oh yeah, it's okay. There are some people that say that look at it and may have a problem with it. But for the most part, I kind of feel like they embrace it a whole lot more than most people would expect they would.
Let me
Hmm.
ask you this, Dr. Mike. Okay, because I know in Poland, um, it can be very, at least in my part of Poland, I'm in Lesser Poland by Ukraine. It can be very, 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 very dangerous to date Polish women. Walking around in public with them, you could be really asking for some big trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And the men do not like it, right? Polish men, typically, they take a very big offense. Let's say you're number one, you're in their country, because this is a country has a very, very strong pride, very strong nationalism. I know China's like that from what I heard. Shout out to my boy Wode Maya. Have you guys heard of that channel before?
Wode Maya?
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard the channel. Yeah, I'm subscribed to him.
You subscribed to him, Dr. Mike?
Yeah, I came across the channel. I don't think I subscribed yet, but I saw a couple of his videos.
Yeah, well, so Wode Maya, shout out to him. Wode Maya is in Beijing,
China, right? Right.
Yeah, he's
in China, Ghana. Cool.
Yeah, and he's gonna come on. I talked to him the other day for about an hour on WhatsApp, and he was telling me, he has a Chinese girlfriend, and he's telling me certain things that that go on in China, and I was agreeing with him. The same thing happens here. There's a lot of people that do not like the fact that you're with a Polish girl or you're with a Chinese girl. How did the Filipino men judge you, knowing that what I'm saying, you're dating their women? What's the problem?
We talked about that this week, man. We talked about that this week. That's a good question.
You want me to get it, Jay, or you got it?
No, go ahead, Dr. You go first, and then we'll go to Jay.
Oh, we good? Okay, bet. It's $1 million question. I guess it's just hit and miss sometimes. I'm not gonna sit here and say that you're gonna get clocked over the head because you're in public walking around with a Filipino woman. That's not gonna happen. But probably in some areas like the more provincial areas that are not part of the city, you may have people that will look at you a little different, and they may feel a certain kind of way, because of country pride and national pride. But on quite a few occasions, man, I get a lot of love for the Filipino guys. They don't really care too much that you're dating their women, and I'm gonna say something that's a bit funny. There was a video about this guy, and they were interviewing a lot of Filipino guys, and they were saying that, basically what you were telling us, O'Shea, that, they're only using these foreign guys for their money, and, they still have boyfriends and stuff on the side. They do say things like that, and like they're not really serious with the relationship with the foreigner and stuff like that. So it has been said, and, low key, there are people who still believe that, but ultimately, I'm not going to say you have to be in fear for your life if you're seen in public with a Filipino woman. I mean, it's actually starting to become normal in the Philippines. From what I can see, there's a lot of Filipino women dating foreigners, not just Black Americans or white Americans, and any race, they're dating them. So it doesn't really matter probably as much as it does in like China or in Poland.
Okay. Let me take let me do this. Let me ask Black American Expat his take on the situation.
Okay, cause we asked that question this week, and I had some Phil guys and some Filipino guys in my chat. We were talking about this. We were asking them how they feel about when they see like American guys or foreign guys talking to their women. Okay. And most of the guys, all the guys pretty much said that there is no problem with that. They don't really look down on the woman. I mean, if anything, you get a woman a higher status in a way too, because they know it kind of put them almost like in a middle class situation too, seeing that they with a foreign guy. A lot of time the Filipino guys will have babies with these women and they don't take care of the baby. They'll leave and go to another island, an island hop or whatever, and start all over, have some more kids. Mm-hmm. But when they see a foreign guy with a woman, they embrace it. They happy. They're not upset about it. I thought that they would be upset. I never had no one to really give me any strange looks or anyone look at me funny. Most people, they always smile, and it's kind of welcoming here. I don't really see anything negative. Even the Filipino guys I talked to about it this past week, most of them, they know they don't really see anything wrong with that.
Okay, let me kind of ask you this real quick, right? Let's take and let's take a little bit of intermission. Guys, do me a favor. I know the moderators are promoting the subscribers for Dr. Mike and Black American Expat. So again, that's Dr. Mike's channel, guys. In the link there, go ahead and click on it, hit the bell, and then let me do this. What I want to know now, Dr. Mike, is okay. These guys, right? I know that the Polish dudes. Let's say in Poland when I'm here, even if I'm not with with their women, I can feel there's some kind of animosity. Like, why are you here? You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, I got you.
it doesn't matter if I don't, if it doesn't matter that I'm bringing in, because I don't. I live a middle class lifestyle here. We'll discuss what middle class is in Filipinos real quick in the Philippines. So I live a middle class life. I live in a very nice apartment. I live in a gated community and stuff like that. I don't bother anybody, but I know when I go places, there's some sort of animosity. Like, why are you here? If you're from America and they know it could be a little bit of an issue, some jealousy going on there. How did the Filipino man take you being in their country? Not without dating women, but just being there.
You know what? It's funny that you say that, the animosity and stuff like that. You feel it in other countries, but I never really had that problem in the Philippines. I mean, like Jay said, most of these, most of the Filipino people in general, as a culture, they're very welcoming to outsiders. I mean, the Philippines, in my opinion, is a very big melting pot. There's a lot of different cultures that congregate in the Philippines. And of course, many of us know why that reason is. And for the most part, most of the Filipino guys have a general idea of why most foreigners are in the country. It's probably not for business, it's probably for pleasure. But for me, it was a whole lot different. I mean, I did get asked a lot, why are you here? What brings you here? And I explained to them, yeah, I'm here for school. I'm here for my studies. My stepmom's Filipina. So after they get to know me and, they hear me speak some of the language and stuff like that, any animosity that somebody had with me beforehand, it really disappears like relatively quick. But again, I think that, when dealing with people who may have a problem with you, that may be in the more provincial areas of the Philippines. Those guys may tend to have a problem with you trying to come into their country. And it is country pride. I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of that in the Philippines. As long as you don't disrespect them or disrespect the women in the country, you'll never really run into any problems, for sure.
Okay. All right, now let me ask you this. Okay, let's talk about the family, right? Because now dating African American, African Americans, number one, our families are pretty much fucked up for the most part. Like, you date a female, she don't know her daddy and shit, and she don't like her family. So pretty much, you ain't never gonna really deal with her family like that. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
maybe Christmas or something like that.
Okay.
But let's go with this. How involved are you with her family, Black American Expat? How big is like the family? What are some differences between dealing with their family in the Philippines and dealing with a woman's family in America?
Really, I've been here for a little bit over a year. I really haven't met the family yet because they're on a different island. I'm planning on going to see them probably like in the next month or so. I mean, but the family, they never really bothered me because she come from a middle class family and they pretty much take care of themselves. And they don't really bother me like that. I don't really hear too much from them. Every now and then they'll say hello when she talk to them, but I haven't really met them yet.
Let me ask you this. Did she, I mean, when you came to the Philippines, did she immediately come to where you were at, or?
Yeah, she came where I was when I got here.
Okay. So you already were going to be together anyway. Like, you already kind of knew that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what was gonna happen because I had some more girls too lined up, and I was like just trying to see how things work out, and things worked out.
Let me talk about the other girls that are lined up. Was there anybody else that you were really considering besides her?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because I tell people all the time, before you come over here, don't just focus on one person because you might get here and things might not work out. I mean, an online relationship might, I mean, be good online, but not work in person. Because I've seen that happen to a lot of people. I tell people all the time, at least talk to two or three people before you get here. Kind of in case things don't work out, you already got a backup plan.
Let me ask you this, if you don't mind me asking, why didn't the other female that you wanted to possibly, did you ever meet the other girl also
Oh
that?
yeah, I mean, because like last year, I think in May, me and Rose broke up. We had broke up in May, and then I ended up hooking up one of the other girls I knew. Me and her, we got together. We was together for like 6 months, and during that time, that when I found out Rose was pregnant too. When I left, I knew she was pregnant, and so me and her, I ended up hooked up with another girl, and I was with her for 6 months, and I knew this girl online too before I got here, but when I found out Rose was pregnant and I was gonna get back with Rose and take care of my child, I mean the other girl got upset and stole all my furniture out of my house. I mean, that shit was
Damn.
crazy. A lot of people seen that shit unfold on my YouTube channel because on my channel, a lot of people seen what went on with that. I mean, the girl stole all my furniture. I had to go to the rain guy captain or the police here and get all my stuff back. And I mean, that girl was trying to take me for everything I had. I mean, and that's another thing. Like I was saying, like online, you can talk to someone, but you never know what they like until you meet them in person. I mean, that girl basically just wanted to get what she can out of me and wanted the green card.
So wait a minute, nigga, how'd you take your furniture? I mean,
I left the house because Rose, when she was pregnant, I went to the doctor appointment with Rose, and it was like maybe 2 or 3 hours away. I went up there to the doctor appointment. Then when I came back home to an empty house.
wow. TV, everything gone, huh?
Everything. I mean, she moved me clean out. I made a video about it on my channel, man. It's like they moved me about that place. They took everything.
He said they moved. He said they moved.
Dr. Mike seen it. Dr. Mike seen it. Everybody was like,
I
"Wow."
gotta laugh, man. But he said they moved me about.
It was classic, man. If you haven't seen that video, you guys gotta find.
I'm trying to laugh, man.
The girl tried to give me a bad name. She said she was gonna write a book about me and everything. That shit was crazy.
It was a beautiful disaster, man. Hey, we talk about how beautiful and kind-hearted these Filipino women are, but like I said, man, they night and day, man. And you could get one that'll flip the script on you rather
Oh
quickly.
yeah, these women got game. They got game.
They do.
Oh man, I'm crying. I know that's not funny, but let me just do that real quick. We got some brothers that have super chatted. And so guys, let me just do this real quick. How much time you guys got left? You guys got some more time?
I'm good.
Oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Cause I know Jay, you be doing them long shows, man. I'd be like, God damn, he be doing nigga, he do like a 9-hour stream, shut off and come back again. Oh, nigga, I'm coming back. I'm like, damn, I come back, I wake up, he still be streaming.
Oh yeah, man, we have so much we be talking about. I mean, it'd be so much information. I mean,
y'all be getting it in, man. Y'all be getting it in. I'd be like, God damn, I done came over. Said I done went to school, then came back, went to church, and he's still on. Nigga then went to crip walking class and everything. So let me just do this real quick, guys. Brothers, thank you again. Like I said, thank you guys for listening and supporting the show. Shout out to my man Country 81. You are now activated on the forum. All right, and again, brothers, get the likes up here. I know I'm having you do a lot of things, liking videos, signing up for forums. I gotta keep you niggas busy, man. That's how it works on this channel. You gotta put in some work for this motherfucking content. All right, look, I got a question, man. And this is a pretty good question, but I know I probably shouldn't say it. Collard green sandwich champion. Oh my God. $2 super chat. This Negro says, any advice on how to avoid lady boys?
Yo, Jay.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay.
Everybody been asking that question all week long. It seems like a popular question.
It is. You want to get it, Jay, or you want me to get it?
Both of y'all can get on that.
I mean, yeah, you can get on it too.
Go first.
One thing I gotta say, like, I mean, you can tell by the way they talk. I mean, when they talk,
Jay, tell your story, man.
When they talk.
Oh, he got a story about it. Oh shit! Let's hear this shit, please.
Jay, what happened when you was at the club? Go ahead, tell him. Just tell him.
Wow, I got a couple of stories on that shit. I mean, I know, like, I was out last week, and this lady boy came up to me and grabbed me by the hand, told me that he wanted me to come to their room. And I snatched my hand away. I'm like, hell no, I don't play that shit. Like, I'm straight. I was like, I don't fuck around like that. And I went outside because the place they didn't have a restroom there, so you got to go outside and pee. I went outside. The lady boy gonna follow me outside, try to look at my dick. I'm like, you need to back the fuck off. You need to back the fuck up. I'm like, I don't get down like that. You need to back the fuck up. I came back in to finish my drink. Then the lady boy gonna grab my hand again and gonna tell me they want me to come to the room. And I snatched my hand away. I ended up paying my tab and I left. I left that joint. But I had a dude from California though that came here. I had a dude from California come here a couple of months ago though. He hung out here for like a month. And the first night he got out, we was at the club and he was on the dance floor dancing all up on the lady boys, bumping and grinding on their ass and shit. And we're trying to tell them, man, them not girls, them lady boys. And the dude, he passed out. I mean, they were trying to rape his ass. They were gonna try to set his ass up. So the next day, we told the guy, we told him what happened. We showed him the videotape and everything. So we went out again a couple of nights later. We went out again, and then the guy is like, he was talking to the lady boys again. I said, you know them not ladies, them lady boys. And I went to the restroom. I came back out. The guy was gone. The guy was gone for like a good hour. I called my homeboy. I said, hey, man, I'm about to leave. I said, your boy, he going to be on his own. I'm about to leave. The guy came back, and he was like, I said, where you been? He said, I was outside talking to my girl. I said, I went all outside, all outside of the building. I didn't see you anywhere. He was like, I was talking to my girl. I said, you know them guys you were talking to, lady boys? Dude got mad at me. Dude got mad, like, man, fuck you. He like, you got a problem with it, you can go home. I live right up the street from the club. I said, fine, I'll go home. I came home. 10 minutes later, the guy knocking on my door, wanted to fight and everything. We ended up and got into it. I mean, I told him, man, that's your thing. That's what you like to do. Do it. I ain't got no problem with that.
So wait a minute. He wanted to fight you because he like chicks.
He called him out.
Yeah,
yeah, because he called him out.
Yeah, he came to my house. I whooped his ass too. I had his ass hanging over the banister. I mean, the security had to get me off on because I didn't want to fight the guy. The guy swung at me, and I had to tase his ass.
You had a taser?
You can't avoid them. I mean,
with your death, nigga.
Dude, he got stories for days. But when it comes to, you can I'm gonna be honest with you. It's easy to recognize a lady boy when you see one. You look at the hands, you look at the feet, look at the Adam's apple, and most of them talk. They try to alter their voices, but they can't. I mean, they don't talk like no girl. They talk like a girl with a deep ass voice. So it's not like you can't avoid, seeing what a lady boy is. But the problem is, like with Jay's situation, the problem is you have to be able to get them off of you, but you don't want to like cause a scene though, because this ain't your country. Living in the Philippines, that's not us. So, but they are aggressive as fuck, man. That's a problem. They can be really aggressive out there. It's not all of them. If you give them a look like I ain't the one you want to fuck with, they kind of get the hint and they kind of back off. But I guess they didn't catch that from Jay in the beginning, so they were kind of persistent with him at that time. But I mean, there's a lot of that going on in the country. But again, like the dude he was talking about, some people come there and they just don't care. They come there and that's the reason why they come there. They come there for that reason, and it ain't nothing that we into. But I'm not gonna act like people don't come to the country just for that though.
For that, yeah. I gotta do a story time, man. I had a play sister that went to Sacramento State University with me. Her name was Michelle, and she was gay, right? And I didn't really have no gay friends or anything like that, but she was so cool and everything, and so I used to kind of look out for her and shit. And she was like, "Oh, Shay, she had no car. She was gay. She was gay." And she had all these gay ass broke friends. And I'm like, damn, why are y'all always so broke? I thought not to be disrespectful or nothing, but I'm like, most gay people I know is smart. Like, nigga, if you gonna do this shit, you need to find some friends that's gay with a car. Well, anyways, He had no car. So there's this so she was like, look, it's my birthday. I need you to take me to there's this club back in Sacramento. Forgot what it's called. It's called Faces, something like that. And she was like, man, I need you to, take me to the club for my birthday because I'm gonna need you to drive me home. I'm gonna be drunk. So I picked up her little friend who was also that way, and they was in the back of the car doing whatever. So I was basically chaperoning them two girls. And man, dog, when I went into this club, because I guess I don't know, but this shit was crazy. It was like motherfuckers like 7 foot tall in costumes doing all kind of crazy ass shit, nigga. It was I never seen no shit like this in my life, dog. They had a co-ed bathroom. I was afraid to go to the restroom the whole night, nigga. It was crazy, man. And then I saw the most important thing that I remember seeing was how possessive these lesbian girls were over one another. Like there was like little boys, but they were girls, and the females were fine, man. And it was always like, if you walk by, they would like kind of clench them tight and shit. Like, nigga, don't be looking at my bitch, nigga. Like, kind of like that.
Right.
I remember, dude, I was at the bar getting ready to get a drink, and some dude came up to me. He was like, why you not smiling tonight? I turned around and looked at it because I couldn't say, get the fuck away from me, faggot. Or so I couldn't say that because nigga, I'm at the gay club. You know what I mean? So I can't say anything. Well, I'm like, nigga, I don't feel like smiling, nigga. You know what I mean? So I can't have no real attitude. So the motherfucker, oh, well, you have a nice night. Suppose the fuck off. Okay, now, this is the funny shit. My grandma, because I go to a church named, I ain't call the name of the church. My grandma's best friend's son is gay. He played the organ in our church. This nigga walked into the club. I said, ain't that a bitch? I said, justify the fact that if this nigga see me at this motherfucking club, he gonna call my grandma and say, your grandson gay. So nigga, the whole time I'm like, how the fuck am I going to leave with these bitches without this nigga seeing me? So nigga, I'm out there hiding behind walls and shit. Anyways, I'm trying to find these drunk ass bitches. They everywhere on the club, just dancing on poles and walls and shit with each other, just doing stupid shit. So anyways, I'm leaving them up. I'm gonna tell the story time tomorrow, the whole entire story. I'm leaving the motherfucking, I'm leaving the club. I'm like, look, you bitches got to get the fuck up out of here. They're like, why? I was like, bitch, look. This nigga in this motherfucking shit, he know my grandma, he gonna call my grandma and say your grandson is gay. You bitches got me out here for fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, you bitches we gotta get the fuck up out of here. So I'm getting them bitches in the car. I turned around and saw the same nigga that was like, why you need to smile? This nigga had this big buff 6'4" nigga. I'm talking about huge nigga holding him by the waist.
Wow.
Like, he had the dude booty on his dick. This dude like Terrell Owens. I said, Jesus, what in the world? I will never motherfucking forget that nigga. I got smooth the fuck away from there, nigga. I was like, I was thinking, God, I was the whole time. It was Sunday. Yeah. I was like, what up, let's call him Brother Harold. I seen the nigga at church. He didn't even see me. So, cause he was one of them niggas like, he gay, he don't give a fuck who know it. Look, I suck dick, I'm gay. That's how he was, like that. You know what I'm saying? And he'll tell anybody that. And so that motherfucker was just crazy, fam. So I had to get up out of there, bro. He was like that kind of nigga, man. He was like, he sucked, I do this and I don't give a fuck who know it. I'm gay. And then if you don't like it and I find out that you motherfuckers talking shit about me, I'm gonna expose you. You know what I'm saying? That was my little. I gotta tell that story. Yeah. I gotta tell it.
And it made me think about this dude I know back home. This guy, he had met this so-called girl on the internet. He thought he was going to see a girl, but when he got there, he didn't know it was a transsexual. He didn't know. As soon as he got there, he said the tranny gave him head, gave him a blowjob, and then as soon as he got the blowjob, he came. He said the transsexual told him, "Yeah, I'm a boy." The dude just put his life up. He told me He said, Jay, do that mean I'm gay? I said, yeah, nigga, you gay. I said, you gay. I said, you. And he really believed that it fuck with him to this day.
You know what? Yo,
really
what?
know. I mean, I can't really.
Yeah,
I done heard
can't
about
get
something
him.
like that happening before to a few niggas, man. But if you know you go back, then you gay. But I get
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
You know what's crazy though, man, is sometimes they can be the most helpful dudes in the Philippines though. It sounds funny though, but sometimes they be hooking you up. If they want they cute girlfriend to get with you, oh, they had no problem hooking you up. So there is kind of an upside to knowing some of them in the country though, because sometimes they do hook you up with they sexy ass friends though, because they be hanging around with the cutest girls in the country, man. I give them credit for that. Most of them do hang out with some pretty hot girls, so they kind of do hook you up if they like you and shit. Like they may not like you, but you know, if they like you, they don't got a problem doing you a favor, but you ain't gotta do nothing for it. So
I don't need no favors, because I don't know who you looking me up. What is that? I'm cool, nigga. Like I was gonna say something, man.
I say, I want to tell you, 'cause we talked about this week too, man. We had a dude, one of my subscribers. Like I said, you got to be careful when you come over here. One of my subscribers met this girl he was talking to online, and they've been talking for 14 months. This fool sent the girl $2,000 to get him an apartment set up and everything. So he got here last Sunday. When he got here, the girl, she was nowhere in sight. Then he caught a cab to the so-called address of the apartment. When he got there, it was no apartment; it was a bakery. So this girl turned this guy to $2,000. And we tell people all the time, do not send money to these girls. If you meet a girl online, do not send money. I mean, we preach that all the time, but this dude sent the girl money. He sent her $2,000, which is like 100,000 pesos over here. And that's a lot of money for a Filipino to have. I mean, they don't make that in a year. Some of them don't make that much in a year. And the dude, like I told him, I said, man, I don't even feel bad about you and your situation. I said, because you ought to know better not to send no one no money, especially if you never met them.
Yeah. No, that's true. That is true. Another thing too, man. I have a boy in Atlanta. Just while we on the topic, he said, because there's so much of that out there. He said he don't even fuck with a female unless she got kids. That's what the nigga said. He's like, unless she got kids, because that's how I know she a woman. He said, if she ain't got no kids, I ain't fucking. Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny.
So, guys, let me do me a favor, man. We got 197 people watching. Get the likes up, man. Also, this guy, my brother from he says, my friends took 80K out of his account and they can't find his dad till this day. Wow. So, yeah, I'm guilty of accident the money, but I actually met them. So, guys, get the likes up, man. And let me just do this real quick. We got 196 watching. I probably can rock for another few minutes, about 30 minutes at least. Guys, I would like for you brothers to join up on the forum. Okay. I've been promoting the forum all week like crazy. I'm trying to get to 1,000 people on the forum. And the reason why, like I said, that we want to promote it is, guys, this is the reason that you guys watch the videos and share the videos. The money goes into building these platforms like the Negro Manosphere. It's come a long way in 18 months. I mean, typically with blogs and websites and forums and stuff, it's much harder to grow a blog. It's much harder to grow a forum than it is a YouTube channel. YouTube is already a community built into YouTube. So, people are already looking for videos, but it's very difficult to build websites, forums, stuff like that. So, guys, join up with us. You know what I'm saying? Sign up. We have a lot of brothers that's going to be giving some information. You can ask questions, anything blackmail related. We have a pretty good business network that we're establishing. Brothers all over the world who do different things. We have brothers that are in trucking. We have brothers that are medical doctors, brothers that are engineers, brothers that are millionaires. You don't have this kind of access to black men for the most part, like anywhere else, right? You know what I'm saying? So this is an opportunity that you can join the forum and you can ask questions and get help on certain things that that you never been able to get help on before. So if you're a brother that's looking to kind of network and kind of get your feet wet and meet other black men who are doing some positive things, this is a great place to be. Negro Manosphere Forum. So guys, go ahead and sign up there with the link. Let me talk to you about this real quick, Black American Expat. And that is this. So, a lot of people, let's say for like Uganda, right? In
Mm-hmm.
Uganda, you can and shout out to the collard green sandwich champion for activating here. Let's say in Uganda, you can set up a business. And you can set up a business because it's an English speaking country. You can set up the business, you can start the business. If you have the money, you can do that there. Now you will pay some taxes and stuff like that, but foreign business is encouraged. Ghana is the same way. But you said that you can't do the same thing in the Philippines. Why is that?
I mean, you can, but you got to have a Filipino business partner. You got to have a Filipino business partner, or if you married to a Filipino, you can put the business in your wife's name and make her a partner. Because here, for some particular reason, I don't know why. I think they do the same thing in Thailand. You can only, I don't care if you invest 100% in the business, you can only get 40% of the business, and your partner gets 60%. And they do the same thing with houses also here. You can only you can't own the land, but you can own 40% of your house, 40% of your business, 60% goes to your partner or to the Filipino.
Okay, let me talk about get back on that product. Shout out to my brother Keenan Wade, 2-hour super chat. Maddie Ghost asks, and thank you for the 5-hour super chat. What about the drug crackdown in the Philippines? I heard they killing you if they think you are selling drugs.
Oh, I got that
Oh yeah.
one. Oh,
Go ahead. I'm gonna use yours real
oh
quick.
shit, I got that. Okay. The current president, like I said, he was the mayor of Davao City, and he really has zero tolerance for drugs. A lot of people don't understand how bad the drug problem is in the Philippines. It's really bad. It's really really bad. So, what they're referring to it as EJK, which is extrajudicial killings and stuff like that, and they're killing people who are basically found not necessarily found guilty of, but have been known to be a part of drugs. He's giving everybody a chance to stop doing what they're doing. But if they continue to deal drugs, then he basically says, "Look, I'm gonna kill you," for lack of a better term. That's just his mentality. And a lot of people are kind of against it. I mean, you hear people in the United States talking about it and everything like that. But until you've actually been in the country and you know what he's trying to accomplish, you're just basically you're like looking from the outside looking in, so you're basically catching your news from CNN and like other news sources and medias and stuff. But if you were actually in the country and you've seen it, and it's not really a bad thing for like us as foreigners. If you're not involved in any drugs, they don't really care. They only care about people who are pushing it on kids and moms and fathers and taking people away from their families. That's really what it's all about. But yeah, it's very true. I think his death total so far since he's been in office is in the high thousands. So it's definitely something that's real. But if you're not really involved in that particular activity, it doesn't affect you in any way, like shape or form.
So he's actually killing people and shit.
Oh yeah, no regard. He don't care. Hey, when Obama was in office, he said if Obama wanted to keep the money that they usually give to the Philippines, he said he'll just get it from somebody else. He said, I'll go to China or I'll go to North Korea and get the money. If you choose to, like whatever aid that the United States provides to the Philippines, he said, if you cut it off because of what I'm doing, I'll just go somewhere and get it from somebody else. Dude's a bad dude, man. He pretty
Yeah.
cold. I'm not gonna lie. The current
I
president is
think
a
is
cold
Donald
dude.
Trump talking about giving a death penalty to people with
Yeah.
drugs in the US or something like that.
I don't think it's gonna happen though, but
Mm.
shout out to Dave01 who just signed up on the forum. You're now activated, brother. You can go ahead and post. And guys, thank you for those who are saying the stream is great. We have 209 people watching right now.
Smash that like button, y'all. Smash that like button.
Yeah, get the likes up, man. And again, like I said, we got 3 brothers, man, that are all in different parts of the world right now. Poland, the Philippines, and the United States. Get the likes up, man. Dr. Mike's and Black American Expats is in information is in the description. So, brothers, man, again, I always like you guys to like the videos and thank you for support what we're doing. Okay, let me kind of get back to what we were talking about before, Black American Expat, and that was we were talking about what before we talked about that question, the drugs.
The drugs.
We were talking about. We were saying something before the drugs.
You talking about the property? You talking about
Yeah,
like
property
business?
and the business. Let's talk about that. Yes. You there?
Yeah, I mean, you can come here and start a business. I mean, but you're not going to be 100% owner of the business. You're going to be 40% owner of the business. I think Dr. Mike had a business here too. I mean, he can elaborate on that too. He had a business here at one time.
Yeah, yeah. Um, See, I have a girl, so I'm in a relationship, so I just put the business in her name and I just ran it. That's pretty much it. So what I did though, so that I was in charge of everything, is I put the business in her name, but I had her sign the affidavit, like something that would allow me to do all business transactions and things like that for the business, all banking and stuff like that. So yeah, her name was on it, but basically I was operating it, so I was always in control because I don't put my business in somebody else's name and then let them control the money. So that's kind of how I did it, so that I was always in control. And it was relatively easy, man. I mean, getting a business started in the country, I'm not gonna lie, depending on whatever area you're living in, it's not hard to get a business started. You just go fill out a couple papers here, there, and pay some fees and stuff, and you can have a business. And they give you a pretty good amount of time to, like, maybe a good month to 3 months to get all of your paperwork together, so you can be in operation. And they'll give you like 3 months or so to get all your paperwork together. So, it's not a bad deal.
Okay, let's talk about the internet. I mean, the business, because okay, what kind of business did you have there?
I did cosmetics. It was like a reseller. Basically, I would buy from the distribution office and then I would sell it. I'd get it at a discount and then resell it. That's pretty much all it was.
Okay, now how did the business do?
Oh, business was fine because I was in a good location, and it's a cosmetics company that has established customers and stuff like that. So it's not something that I had to build from the ground up on my own. It had established clientele and stuff like that. So I was in a good location near schools and stuff like that. So the business was booming for the full 3 years I was there. But my last year of my doctorate degree, it was all dissertation. And, like Jay said, man, you can't look over everybody's shoulder all the time. So I figured it'd probably be in my best interest to go ahead and let it go, since I can't really be operational, be in charge of it like I wanted to be. So I kind of sold it my last year before I actually came back here. So yeah, it did
Okay,
good though.
so when
It
you
did very
sold
well.
it, how much did you get out of the business, and how much did she get out of the business?
Oh, I kept it all, man. It's just her name. That's my girl. I mean, I didn't owe her anything. I just put her name on it. I didn't have to give her anything. I just used her name. I could have used my stepmom's name. I could have used anybody who was a Philippine national. I could have used anybody's name that I wanted to. So it's not like I owed her any money. It was just I used her names. But of course, I took care of her, but I didn't give her any money from the business because I was basically running it. It was basically my money. So she didn't really put nothing in on it.
And
Okay,
that's
She just
another good
provided
point
me her
too. I want
name.
to bring up, like, 'cause one of my subscribers was telling me too that he got a son and he got businesses over here too. He rent out condos and he rent out townhouses, and he got the business in his 4 year old son name. Because he was telling me I could do the same thing with my son. Me and my son got the same name too. He was telling me that I can buy property in my son's name and put businesses in his name too.
It's legal. It's like passing it on as a beneficiary. Like that's pretty much how it is. So it kind of protects yourself on the back end. Just in case you may not be fully trusting of your partner or something like that. So it is beneficial to have a kid. Or somebody that you really trust in the country. So
okay. Shout out to Skullduggery. You are now activated on the forum, brother. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you for being on the stream. Um, okay, let's talk about some of these things where people. There's some horror stories, right? I mean, I know Dr. Mike's story is maybe not as bad, but there are some horror stories about men who go to the Philippines and put businesses and put up a lot of money, and then the women take it. You can't do anything
Hmm.
about it. Let's talk about that real quick, Antoine.
Oh yeah, that happens. It happens all the time. I mean, not only with business but with property. It's guys that I be in different forums and I read all the time with guys that buy a house and then they'll go back to the US for like 2 or 3 months and they come back and the woman took the house and sold it, and I mean someone else in the house. That happened a lot. And then a lot of time if you're a foreigner, if you got like a partner, a bad partner, they'll take the business from you too. I've seen that happen to people too, where they have an established business in their name, and then once the business build up and do good, then uh, the woman take the business from the guy or sell the business without him knowing.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Um. No. No. Go ahead, Dr. Mike.
Oh yeah, man, it happens all the time. I mean, I'm gonna speak from, my parents' standpoint. Like we had a house and a property in the area we lived in. My dad was 40% owner, and my mom was 60%. My stepmom was 60% owner of the property. So at any given time, you can't really prevent it from happening. It just depends on your situation and how well you trust the person you going into business with. Yeah, it sucks, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's that's the way it operate. That's the way things happen and operate in the Philippines. You got to be willing to make some sacrifices if you really want to put up a business. And yeah, thank God my story ended better than a lot of other guys. But you hear it all the time. I know a guy who wanted to open up a burger stand, like some like American burgers and stuff like that. His partner, who was Filipino, just stole the idea, just took his idea, ran with it, and he's owning, and he's got like 3 or 4 restaurants open in the city in which I came from. So, it's not even, you don't even get the business open. They could take your ideas. They do that stuff all the time. Again, it just depends on who you choose to, get in bed with, or who you choose to operate with. So, I
I
mean,
heard this
it's
story
hit
too
and
about
miss.
this guy. He had got a club. This guy got a club up in English City. He rented it from a Filipino guy. And what the guy did, after the business, after he had it established and going, it like he had a 15-year-old girl or something to go inside the business, and they set the guy up. They set the guy up where it seemed like that he had young girls in the business, but he didn't. And of course, they're gonna believe the Filipino over you. The guy ended up and got deported, and then the guy ended up and got the business right back.
Wow.
There are some bad horror stories, man. I ain't gonna front. I mean, there's a lot going on in the country. So, like I
Just
said, it
like
ain't gonna always be.
one of our friends right now, he
Go
just
ahead.
got a business. He got a boat business, and you got all these people already talking negative, saying that his girl gonna take the business from him. I mean, before he
Mhm.
even get the business off the ground, you got people that talking negative. They're saying that she gonna take the business.
Wow. So let me ask you this then. Is it even worth, basically if you're gonna go there, is it worth doing business there really or
I
I
say
mean, you can
do.
do good. I got a friend right now that got a call center, and they doing great. I mean, he got over 300 people working for him. It depends on what type of person you go in business with. It depends on what type of woman you have too. If you trust in a woman and you got the business in her name, it depends on what type of person you got. I mean, because not everybody gonna do you like that. There's some good, decent women here. I mean,
Mhm.
it just depends on what type of person you deal with.
okay.
I personally say I think that going into like an online type business, if you're looking to do some kind of work
Mhm.
from the Philippines while living in there, I encourage online stuff. I don't really think that having like an established place like a brick and mortar, I don't really think it's necessary for you to do that, because I mean most guys who come to the Philippines, they kind of want to live and be able to chill and like retire and hang
Exactly.
out. But so putting up a business, a place where you have to be 7 days a week, that's not really being able to enjoy your vacation, because you always got to have somebody looking after somebody who's looking after somebody looking after somebody. So it's just
Exactly.
I think it's more of a headache to actually put up a business, but to invest in something, probably not a bad idea. Investing is different than actually being the owner operator of the business. So I say it's probably best to try to invest into something that you may be able to believe in. But if you're gonna do work, just try to find something that's online, something that'll earn you US dollars, because pesos, they don't really pay out too well.
Mm-mm.
It's hit and miss. It depends on concept. If you're doing food business, you got to adapt to whatever you got going on to Filipino taste and stuff like that. And I've seen some businesses open and then close six months later because they didn't adapt to Filipino taste. They're comfortable eating different foods for only a short period of time before it gets old and before it gets played out. So, it just depends.
Okay. And if guys want to ask questions, you know what the routines are. Here, get the likes up, guys. Let me do this for I know what I was gonna ask, but I forgot. So I guess, in comparisons to um let's say, healthcare. I know you did some vlogs on that before, Black American Expat. What would you um what would you particularly say, like, the experience has been with, getting, medicine, getting healthcare, stuff like that, getting, people to clean the house, you know, things of this nature. How does that work?
Healthcare here is very cheap. Um, I don't know if they got any insurance available for expats. I heard they do, but that pretty much not been an issue for me because when I go to the hospital, I can pay out my pocket most of the time. I've been to the emergency room here 3 times, and I pay anywhere from $5 to $10 at the most. Uh, so healthcare here is very cheap unless you got some major, like you got like major surgery or something like that. I suggest you go back to the U.S.
Okay.
or go somewhere else to get surgery done. But like if you got minor stuff here, it's not gonna be that much money. The medicine here is not that expensive. I mean, it's not gonna really be a lot. And like if you're talking about getting like someone to clean up your house or get a live-in maid, you can get a live-in maid here for like anywhere from like $60 a month to $100 a month for live-in help 24 hours a day, seven
Okay.
days a week.
Okay. And Dr. Mike, what do you have to say about, the healthcare and going to the physician, stuff like that?
I mean, I think the healthcare system is relatively fine for like minor stuff, getting meds if you have like, if you need like antibiotics and stuff like that, that's perfectly fine. But as far as like serious medical issues, like surgeries and stuff like that, I would recommend people just, try to go back home
Mm-hmm.
because I think that's a risk. I mean, that's a risk that I wouldn't personally take. But for
Mm-hmm.
like minor sickness, they're perfect. They're 100% fine. But if you have like serious health issues, things that really need to be taken care of, you need to make sure you have emergency cash to get back home because I wouldn't recommend you guys take the chance. I wouldn't personally take the chance, so I wouldn't recommend anybody take a chance on that one.
Okay. Okay. All right. And then I think pretty much, unless you guys have any particular questions that you guys wanted to ask, it's 12:24 a.m. here, and I do got a little bit of class in the morning, but I might stay on for a little bit longer. Let's go ahead, guys. Let's get the likes up. 209 people watching, 210 people watching. Good to see
I'm
everybody in the
laughing at
chat. Go ahead.
I'm laughing at one of your peoples in the chat. They said they wouldn't mind having a live-in maid with benefits, and that happened a whole lot here too. That happens. That happens a lot. Sometimes, I mean, that happened a whole lot.
It does.
Yeah,
Okay.
it
Yeah,
does.
that sometimes that come with the territory. I mean, that's. I mean, they already know what time it is.
Yeah, they know their job. They know their job description very well, even before it actually happens. I know some people who have left their own wives to be with their yeah, with the living help. I know stories, but it happens. So
Let me ask you this real quick. And let me ask my man, Big Chris, because he's been to the DR or the Philippines. Let me ask Chris, HT Logistics, which one do you prefer? As far as the women, HT Logistics. But let me kind of talk back about this real quick, brother. So Black American Expat, obviously you do have a child. You're in a relationship. Are the women still when they still trying to holler at you, although they know that you're in a relationship? Like, do you still get
Oh
that?
yeah, that don't stop nothing right there. They still try. I mean, all the time. I mean, it seems like they try more now because they see me with the baby, holding the baby, and being a good father. They seem like that kind of attract them a little bit more. Because every time we go out, I see the women looking and staring. Still, they don't. They didn't really stop anything.
Do they try to talk to you? Are they trying to, hook up a little bit? Like, are you,
Yeah, I had someone try to hit on me. I had someone to try to hit on me. I mean, that's kind of normal here. Like even like when you come here, if you got a woman that's really into you, you know she into you when she grab your arm and you go out in public. And Dr. Mike know about this too. Like when you go out if a woman into you, she gonna grab your arm, grab your hands, and let everybody know like this mine, because she know the women here is very aggressive, and they'll still try, even though they see you with someone, they'll still try to get you.
So they'll still so you mean the other women? Okay, so let me ask you this: what is I know Rose. What is it that Rose knows about like Filipino women? That I heard from people in the comment section, Young J or HT Logistics. Like if you go to the Dominican Republic, those women are very protective over you.
Yeah, it's the same way here. It's the same way here.
So is Rose like that with you or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
She's that way.
They grab that arm and they don't let it go. When you in the mall, they basically marking their territory. But does it stop the women from looking and trying to holler? No. It's just another day. It's another day at the office, man. For them, they don't care. I think it turns them on to see you in a relationship and that you're willing to be seen in public with your girl, so you're proud of who you're with, and they kind of imagine themselves in that situation with you. That's kind of how it goes. They feel like, if he's like that with her, I know he can be the same with me. I mean, it's the mentality of the women out there, and they'll go for you. I mean, to be honest with you, I think I got more play when I was in a relationship than I did when I wasn't in one. I mean, and that's kind of how it goes in most situations. When they see you with somebody, that's when it seems like most girls want to come at you the most. So it comes with the territory.
So let me ask you this, right? How are the girls, right? If you're all hugged up with your female and stuff, man, how are these girls getting the opportunity to still trying to holler? You know what I'm saying? If they got you on lock like that.
You gotta go to the bathroom sometime.
I'll tell you what happened. One time I was out. We had went somewhere one time, and she went to the restroom, and then as soon as she went to the restroom, a girl walked up to me and tried to give me her number. And I'm like, I'm okay. I'm all right.
It's crazy. Yeah, same with me, man. I mean, like I said.
Give you a number. Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, no, like you said, the girl, he said Rose went to the bathroom and then a girl came up to him while he was by himself. It happens, man. Like, for example, I'll separate from my girl. Like, maybe she want to go check out some shoes over here in one part, the female department. I'm over here looking at some other stuff where the guy stuff is. They come and smile at your face, say, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Like, what's your name? And they'll be like, do you want to hang out later? Some stuff like that. I mean, it's common. It's common practice. And I mean, like I said, it comes with the territory. They are.
Some girls bold. We went out one time. We was in on Burgo Street. We went to this club one time, and this girl, she came. She sat right next to me while I was with Rose. She sat right next to me and kept trying to talk to me. Then I got up and went to UCR. She came in the restroom with me.
What?
Trying to talk to me again. I was telling Rose like this girl, and she was pissed. Rose was pissed off. We left. We ended up leaving that place because that girl was bold. She came and sat right next to me and got up and went to the restaurant with me.
Was she cute?
Oh yeah. I mean, but this girl looked a little bit older though. She looked like in her late 30s or something. Okay. She looked like she about to hit the wall.
Okay. So let me ask you this real quick. As far as a lot of the women out there, man, are they a lot of single mothers out there? Are there a lot of women that already got kids?
Yeah, that's heavy in the country. Oh, that's heavy.
And that's one thing
like
too.
Your boy said,
this guy. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, you good, Jay? Go ahead. I'll let you go. Okay, like I said, like your boy in the chat, he said he only talked to women if they have kids. I mean, that's kind of true too, because they're at least female. But the thing is, when women have kids in the Philippines, the Filipino guys consider them undesirable, like they're tainted. They've already been touched, so they don't want them. So basically, these women are just floating around. Basically, they're the ones you see online looking for foreigners and stuff like that. So they come looking for us, and it kind of sort of falls into play that way. So you'll see a lot of foreigners getting with Filipino women who already have kids.
Really?
Exactly. Exactly. Because if they got kids,
it's crazy.
The Filipino guys are not going to get with a woman that got kids. They're not going to take care of nobody else's kids. If they got kids, the only hope that woman got left is to talk to a foreigner, because the local's not going to talk to a woman they're not gonna take care of nobody else's kids or be with a woman that got kids. They gonna go to the next one.
But yeah, right. But but I'm gonna be honest with you, they're desperate when they have kids, so they will be willing to go above and beyond the call of duty to make sure that that foreigner is the one that's gonna be with them forever. They're gonna be clingy onto you. They're gonna do whatever you say, whatever you ask, and I think that's how they get most of these foreign guys. And it's not even really. It don't. Let's be honest. It don't cost much to take care of a kid in the Philippines if that's the route you choose to go. I know, O'Shea, I know how you preach about it, and it's kind of different, and I'm sure you probably get into it, but in the Philippines, it don't really cost much to take care of a kid there and stuff like that. So some of these foreign guys really do accept the fact that the girl that they with has a child already, and they do not mind taking care of the kid because of what the girl does in the relationship to make them want to stay around.
Well, it seems like black men can learn something from these Filipino men. Because you niggas stay. I used to be one of them, man. You had a baby, that was okay, baby, you know. So if there are any guys that got questions, man, I can still rock for a few other minutes. 209 people watching. Let's get the likes up. We got only 167 likes, 207 watching, 167 likes, 6 dislikes. Again, we got 2 really good YouTubers, man. I've done interviews with both of them. So actually, this is my second one, right? Black American, well, both of you guys, right?
Right.
Yes.
It's my second time. So yeah, so we got to start I'm trying to bring more of the brothers with some of the more international experience, because technically I'm like a travel channel on accident. That's what my vlogcast channel was more about. It's more about my experience, living in Poland. Although I do not consider myself like a travel channel, like Passport Kings, or my man, what's my man, Taylor Made Dreams Out the Matrix. I wouldn't really consider myself a travel channel, but I do some traveling, here and there. In fact, I'm getting ready to get out of here in the next 2 weeks. I don't know where I'm going though, so I got it down to Ghana, Kenya, and if I go to Kenya, I'm definitely going to go back to Uganda. That's a fact. If I go there, the DR, Brazil, so I don't know where I'm going. It's going to be one of those 4 places. So you know what I mean.
All right.
So we'll see out of those particular places. Oh, or South Africa. I've never been to South Africa before.
I heard it's a little dangerous out there.
Yeah,
like
dangerous.
I
want to go there.
They said the taxis. Yeah, they say the taxis and stuff, they'll take you a wrong turn and kidnap your ass with the quickness.
Uber.
Like you gotta. I don't know, man. I don't know. I've heard some shit, but yeah, Uber probably hook you up too. But yeah, man, I just been hearing a lot of stuff. But hey, I know it's beautiful down there. That's facts. But
I mean, what part you looking at? Cape Town or Johannesburg?
Man, I gotta to get my real thrill. I gotta go where the danger's at. So I gotta go to Cape Town. Oh, yeah, I gotta almost get shot or something. You know what I mean, and get robbed, so I can have something to blog about. I mean, I ain't gonna have no cameras that can take it.
A near-death experience.
Yeah. So I'm keep hearing, go to Ghana now. Ghana, I've been kind of hearing about, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm thinking about if, because so Ghanaian women got the fat ass. What up, Dre? Elite Class Trucking. That's my boy right there. Can you guys hear me clear still? You guys can hear me?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I hear you.
All right, yeah. So if I go to Ghana, I can get the visa on arrival. So the problem with me is like some of the other places, like like Brazil and other folks like that. It's a problem because like you can't do the visa on arrival. Like when I went to Uganda, literally you could just go to Uganda, get in line, visa on arrival, boom, you're good. You know what I'm saying? You just get in there and everything like that. Brazil, it's hard to get a visa from Poland. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to even get US dollars, the right bills. Let me talk to you guys about that real quick because I'm having this issue. So I'll wire some money to myself, right? Let's say, for example, I want to go to a place, and you guys, you know how if you go to foreign countries, you need to take like the newest $100 bills. You know what I'm saying?
Right. In the Philippines, Yeah, they won't take the bills printed in 1996, the $100 bills. They refuse to accept those. That's the one bill that's actually not accepted in the Philippines because I think that was a big year they were counterfeited. So
All right.
yeah.
So they'll only take the newest ones. Okay, so let me ask you this: like in the Philippines, is it easy to get the newest $100 bills or no?
I mean, that's for a person that's traveling here. When they come here, they got to make sure like they get the money from the bank. But like, I don't really have that problem because I just get my money out of my ATM every month. I just take money out the ATM, so I don't really have to really exchange from dollars to the pesos. I just use my bank account. But if you come here for the first time, you just come into the country
Right.
and you bring in cash with you. You need to go to like a bank and get crispy $100 bills if you come in here.
Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the Filipino bank system because I know in Poland I have ING. Shout out to ING Bank. It was very easy for me to get a bank account. All I needed was a passport. I tried to get a bank account in Uganda because I actually was going to set up no bullshit. I was going to set up a business in Uganda, not a physical business, but I was going to set up a blog in Eastern Africa and then set the blog up. And then once the blog started taking off, I was going to then use the connections that I had in the blog to do something physical as the blog was building. That was my. I was going to do like outside in market. You understand? Like get the infrastructure set up, and then use my connections and influence from the infrastructure to go into a certain like location to do it based off the blog.
Okay.
But I had a big problem with Barclays. They wanted 6 months of my payment history. They wanted 6 months of bank statement. I showed them my bank account. I'm like, bro, I have like this is the amount of money I have in my bank account, and it was like, and then they couldn't do it. So I had all these particular issues. But what do I need to do if I'm trying to start a bank account in the Philippines? Can you guys take me to that?
I know you got to be
Your
here at
AC.
least 3 months. You got to have an ACR card.
Right.
You got to be here at least 3 months.
It's,
And they give you that ACR card. You could do a whole lot of things like get a bank account. You can get bills put in your name, and even if you want to establish credit here, you can do that as long as you got like an ARC card. And
What
they
is an
only give you that
ARC? What does it mean?
like an alien registration card or something like that. They give you that at the immigration once you be here on the third month.
Okay. John Smith, when do you have time to study? Motherfucker, it's 12:38 a.m. right now. What are you talking about? People don't. Let me say this real quick. You guys are dumb. You guys don't understand. Like when you come in comment, I'm like 9 hours ahead of you. Like I'm not on American time. So this is the point. Like you guys gotta ask better questions. I'm like it's almost the next day. Okay, so let me go to the mic. When you start a bank account, is there like a certain amount of money you need to start the account with?
the minimum, not much. I think the minimum is probably equivalent to like $100, about 5,000 pesos. That's probably normally about what they require you to put in most banks. And maintaining balance of about 2,000 pesos, or if you don't have a maintaining balance, I think there's like a deduction or something like that. But for the most part, it's relatively easy to set up. I still actually have two bank accounts in the Philippines right now. I kind of use my PayPal to send money to it. Like I'll send money to my PayPal, and then I have my PayPal set up to my bank accounts, and that's kind of how I send money there. I'm sure there are better ways to send money to my bank account, but that's the only one I trust because I know that it works. And yeah, I mean, the ACR card, like you said, that's what they call it, the alien certificate of registration. You have to be in the country for 3 months. And
Okay.
then you get that card, bring your passport, fill out the documents, and they'll set you up a bank account and you'll have your card and everything the same day. So it's not really hard, but it does depend on the bank that you go to because there are some banks that are definitely harder than others to open up accounts.
Okay. Let me also ask this. Can you get I know like in Poland you can get a Polish zloty account and you can
Hmm.
also get a US dollar account. Can
Right.
you get both accounts there also?
Yeah, but I wouldn't recommend a dollar account at all
Why?
because they be looking at that shit hard. Like you got a US dollar. You don't want anything that's going to draw too much attention to yourself. And it does depend on how much dollars you put in. If it's like a couple hundred here, maybe a couple thousand there, they don't really care for it. But sometimes you look suspect, you being a US national with a foreign, like a bank account in a foreign country, a US dollar bank account. Like especially around tax time, they definitely come looking at that stuff, or they'll be interested in seeing why you got a bank account in the Philippines. For what purpose do you have it? So, but when it comes to pesos, they don't care, man. That's chump change to them. Like in reference to the U.S. So I recommend personally just the U.S. I mean to have only bank account in the local currency. But yeah, if you come from the United States and you have a bank card, I mean, you could use it like MasterCard and Visa and stuff like that. You can use it in the ATM. So if that works for you, like it does for Jay, you don't have to have a bank account, but there are transaction fees. They could be expensive, like $5 or so per transaction, something like that.
Let me ask you now: are the bills the same size, or do they get bigger as the denominations get larger?
Same size. They're like the pesos. Yeah, they're all the same size. You got coins and stuff like any other country, but the bills, they are all the same, length and width. So
okay, like the dollar, because like when I went to Uganda, like and just like in Poland, the bigger the denomination is, the larger the bill. And that's the same way in Poland. Like in Uganda, I like Uganda's currency. It's called the shilling, and man, when you go out there, you feel like I'll be feeling like I'm rich as fuck. I ain't gonna lie. Like that's the only reason why I like going back, because when I exchange my US dollars out there, I'm like, we fly high, ballin'. All right, so
yeah, I got some shillings here too. I got like 96,000. Like my dad used to work over there, and I like to collect currencies. But yeah, man, their bills are like they get up to like 500,000, right? Like the largest denomination out there is how much?
50.
50? Oh,
Yeah.
50,000.
Over here?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
The
Over in the
biggest peso
Philippines.
notes is what, 1,000?
1,000. Yeah.
So what happened if you go to the club but like
You better find a way to
50,000
make change.
peso notes? Is people gonna be like, oh my god?
You better try not to get robbed.
It goes down like that?
Nah, I wouldn't recommend you do that. I mean, it's a lot of money, but always make sure you have change, man. Because what they'll do to foreigners is they'll tell you they ain't got change. They don't make change for it, so they'll just keep it. So you better make sure you come with some small denominations if you're gonna go to the club and trick. And I wouldn't recommend you bring up 50,000. But if you do that, you're gonna be the man for quite a long time. But
you
you're
can
gonna be
walk
a
out with
target
a whole
too.
nightclub with that much. You don't need that much.
You can buy the club with that kind of money out there in the Philippines.
Hold on, this nigga said, how much is a house in Philippians? Nigga, that's a scripture. It's a fucking this nigga asking how much is the house in Philippians? Nigga, Philippians is a book in the New Testament. Motherfucker, what the fuck are you talking about? Stop the show. Niggas don't even know what the difference is between Philippians, a book in the Bible, and a country called the Philippines. Nigga, read this. Stop the show. Go back. Everybody look at what Champion Truth said. Watch what he said. Just don't say nothing. Just look at him. Just stop the show. This nigga gonna say, how much is Philippians? Stop the show. Don't nobody say nothing. Just don't say nothing. Just look at him. You was watching Jimmy Swagger tonight, wasn't you, motherfucker? Huh? Lord, I have sinned, Father. I don't know why I slept with them prostitutes. Jesus. You know what? I'm gonna time your ass out for being stupid. Because you're in here asking dumbass questions anyway. How much is the book of Philippians? I'm gonna need you to read that book before you come back to this motherfucker. Because obviously you got Jesus on your motherfucking mind. Okay? So I'm gonna need you to get your Kirk Franklin on, nigga. Because don't you ever in this motherfucker come over here asking how much a goddamn book of the Bible. How do you not know what the Philippines is? This is why we need a YouTube super chat spell check, motherfucker. You need to get your ass what? Okay, I'm back, y'all. I'm sorry. I just had to get him because the nigga said, how much is the Philippians? I'm like, what chapter? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
What happened to Black American Expat? Okay. Yeah, BP, I had to get that nigga, man. Motherfucking niggas, man. Shit. All right, let me ask you this, guys. I don't keep you too long, but let's talk about going to the club, man, because you know how the brothers are. They want to get the gold rim glasses and shit and got the members only leather jacket. It's not really leather, it's pleather. But you know how niggas are. All right, let me say I'm going to the club, right? I seen Black American Expat doing this thing. He had an episode where he was actually in an African club, something like that. How much am I gonna pay on average? You know, I'm trying to get into the club. I want to get the VIP. How much am I paying for that?
In the most expensive club that I know of, probably about 10,000. So you're looking at about $200. At one of the like top quality clubs, it's about average about $200. You get your VIP section, and you can buy bottle service and stuff like that. So it's not really expensive.
Okay. But was you popping bottles in the club when you was out there and shit like that?
Yeah, when I was younger, yeah, man, it was fun and it was easy. It was easy to to get in the clubs and stuff like that because being American, they kind of want you to come into their establishment. Sometimes the owners would be like, "Yeah, come where we are, or come sit with us, or come here." They'll even pay for us to have a bottle.
In the background.
I think that's Jay's. I know that's Jay's shit. You good, Jay?
Yeah, I'm good. That's the
Okay, you
fire
got it.
alarm
What you
going
do? You
off.
All
building
right.
the house, nigga?
All right, but yeah, man. Sometimes the owners of the club they'll be like, "Yeah, come sit with us at our table and stuff like that." Drinks are on us for the night. But me though, like I kind of don't recommend going out with a group of people, especially a group of Filipinos, because they'll definitely expect you to pay. But you can definitely get your trick on, and it ain't gonna be too much. But I mean, if you want to just drink for yourself, kick it at the bar, just you and somebody, you could probably do good the whole night with like 1,000 pesos. So you're looking at about $20. But if you want to go balls to the wall and you want to like ball out till you fall out, probably about 200 to get you a nice little spot in the club and drinks and stuff all night, and it's all
Less than that.
consumable.
I mean, the first time I went out here, I took out 6 people. We went out, we ate all night and we drank all night long from like 9 o'clock at night to 3 in the morning. At the end of the night, it cost me like $65 for 6 people.
Oh, I
What?
mean, yeah, but I'm saying at the most expensive club. I mean, that's
Oh,
the
oh,
high end. But yeah, the
oh yeah.
average club, man, you can ball out for like 3,000 pesos. You can ball out very easy on cheap for sure.
Me and my homeboys, we go to the high end clubs here. I mean, it'll be like maybe it'll be like 6 or 7 of us, and we go in the VIP section, and we usually pay like $15 a piece. Like at the end of the night, when the bill come around, and that including a bottle. Sometimes we might get 2 bottles. If we sit in the VIP, we all chip in like $15, $20 at the most. We pay together.
Okay. So let me do this. All right, let me shout out to my boy Elite Class Trucking. Ask them about the midget club in Manila. Is there a midget club in
Oh yeah.
Manila?
Yes.
What?
Yes, there's one there. Yeah, there's a
Talking
couple
about?
of them. There's a couple of midget clubs
Wait,
there.
wait, 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 nigga. How do you
Oh
know?
yeah.
Wait, hold on,
Oh
nigga.
yeah, I see.
Nigga, wait.
I know one of the places called Ringside Lounge. I mean Ringside Bar, Ringside or whatever. It's in Makati, and now they have midget boxing and they have sick guys, midget girls, and then there's another bar. Like when I met Barry Jordan right across from the hotel he was staying at, there's a midget bar over there too with midgets.
Y'all niggas nasty. Y'all be over here fucking the midgets like that. It's a midget club, so just basically just do regular size motherfuckers be just going.
Anybody could go, but it's like midgets. A lot of midgets work there. Like whole lot of
The
midgets,
bar
just midgets
girls
only.
and yeah.
I bet you motherfucker. I bet you they be out there tricking on them little hoes. Baby, I love you. Okay.
Oh yeah.
No, and James says, are the drinks half off at the midget club?
Yeah.
I just seen them midgets there. The midgets got fat asses though.
Oh my god. Yeah, I seen one at the bus stop one day and I almost wrecked my car. That was before I met Jesus. Shout out to my man HT Logistics. He says,
Yeah.
Bay
The
and
booty
Mike,
lube.
don't forget about the booty loop. What the fuck is the
The
booty loop
booty.
club?
Okay, no, let me
Tell
explain
him
what
about
booty
the booty
loo is.
lube.
this is a running joke that we have on our channel, right? See, Jay, Black American Expat, he was trying to tell everybody what his favorite Filipino dish was, and he was trying to say like bulalo or bulalu, and ever since then, HT Logistics keeps saying, "Oh, Jay was saying booty loo," so we kind of just ran with it. So we call it the booty loo. It's the funniest shit ever, man. We can't let it go. And HT
Yeah,
don't let it go at
we
all.
gotta make a song
The
about
booty,
that.
yeah, the
Girl, give
booty
me that
loo.
booty now. All right. Shut up. So let me ask you this, man. I was gonna ask one more thing. Damn. So um these niggas fucked me up with that midget shit, man. I had actually something really to but Elite Class Trucker came and fucked it up as usual. Shout out to him. BP Thomas Trucking supporting the cause. Great info as always. Man, the truckers be balling. Shout out to my y'all noticed the last people that donated are truckers, man. Like the truckers be holding this shit down, nigga. I'm just saying, I'm gonna just change my shit to O'Shea Truck Jackson. Fuck that. I don't even. So shout out to my man, BP Thomas. Fuck. I don't even know what else to ask. I guess keep it techie. What about them soapy houses? Okay, what the fuck is a soapy houses?
Oh, it's a bar that you go to, and what it is they shoot like foam into the audience. It's like soap, and then like you just go in there with your regular clothes on, but it's like taking a bubble bath with your clothes on. It's like a soap party. Yeah, they
Oh,
kind of have them at yeah, it's pretty cool. Like foam parties is what they call them and shit like that. It'd be popping.
I've
Yeah,
been to one of them
they do
before.
that. Yeah, it's fun as hell in the Philippines, man, for sure.
Okay, let me ask
Them
you
girls
this.
be freaking on the club. Yeah.
Let's talk about the Africans in China, in the Philippines, man, because I mean, obviously, as you guys know, that travel like outside the United States, when you go
Hmm.
into, I've never been into Asia. I mean, I've just had my experiences here. The only part of Asia I went to, I was laid over in Qatar, in the Middle East, and I saw a gang of Africans at the airport. So here's just a note for traveling, man. As you guys get out of the United States, you'd be shocked to run into another African American. Um, Most of the blacks you're going to run into are Africans. That's what my experience has been. Is that
Yeah,
what you guys see?
That's
yeah.
true.
Oh
Very
yes,
true.
there's a lot of Africans here. Yeah, when I first got here,
Yeah.
that's all I was meeting was Africans. I mean, cause like even back home, my friends, out of all my friends, I only got like maybe 2 friends that got a passport.
Two friends. Okay. Shout out to Vegas MGTOW for the fire super chat. Brothers, let me ask you this. Also, for those who are that haven't seen my Dr. Action comic, right? I wrote this comic. It's a classic. Press 1 if you read my comic, and press 2 if you need to read it. Have you guys read my comic yet? Either
I got
one
to
of you
check
guys?
it out. I
Dog.
haven't seen it yet. I
The
got to
Negro
check it out.
Manosphere comic is the shit. So it's free for anybody that wants to read the Negro Manosphere Dr. Actions comic. I really put a lot of so a lot of guys read it. Okay. So drop your emails if you need to read it, right? I'm gonna send it to you. It's a free comic. It's something that I'm saying basically we're doing. We have a lot of things that we're working right now. We have the forum. We have the blog that comes out every day. We have the 3 free ebooks. Donovan Sharp is coming out with another ebook, and that will be free for those people who join the forum, and the people on Patreon automatically get it. So if you guys want to see my comic that I wrote, I'm going to send you a link. It's 48 pages. It's like I think it's the best thing in the world, but that's just me. So again, guys, it just goes to show you the things that we're doing on the site and stuff like that. So, okay, just drop your emails and I'm gonna definitely get all of your shit, to you. Let me say this. What was I just asking? I'm getting old and shit, man. What was I just asking y'all?
We were talking about you were talking about the Africans. You saying like when you
Yeah,
travel,
the
you see a lot of
Africans.
Africans.
Now, let's talk about how's your experience been. What do you think of Africans that you're meeting in the Philippines, Africans, stuff like that?
I mean, the Africans I met, they pretty cool. One thing I can say about the Africans, they learn the language fast as hell over here. They pick up the language quicker than most Black Americans pick it up because I mean they just take it and run with it. I know a guy that just got here last year in May, and he pretty fluent with Tagalog now. I mean they pretty much pick up on the language, and
They
so they're
adapt
pretty
very
cool.
well. Yeah, they do. Yeah. I ain't never had a bad experience hanging out with like other Africans and stuff like that. But like I said, every like where I lived at, man, I would probably see another brother once every 6 months for
I
sure.
had one bad experience one time. I was at this African club here because they got an African club in Makati, and I met these guys. They live in the United States. I met some Nigerians, and they was acting very arrogant and trying to be very sarcastic and shit. Uh, I mean, they were trying to be funny, and I had to get back on their ass.
Funny like how?
They were saying some off the wall type shit. Like they were saying shit. Then dude was trying to. He made some. I forgot what comments he made. He said something to my girl that was out of place and shit. And then they were talking. They were talking in their language a whole lot of shit too. Like that was kind of awkward.
Mm-hmm. Do you let me ask you this? Do you run into a lot of African women over there?
A
Since I've been
few,
here, I only
not
seen
many.
maybe three. I seen three African women since I've been here.
I noticed that the most Africans I always meet are never like they're always like African men. Like African men be everywhere, but the women you don't really see them too much. I do see some of them more over here than in places like the like the Philippines or something like that. But how's your experience when you do come across like an African woman in you know out there? How do they react? Like are they snobbish, have problems or something like that? Or
I've
I
never had a
mean,
problem.
yeah,
Mm-mm. I
they was
mean,
cool. The ones I seen.
pretty cool. Yeah. And I'm gonna say something that may be a little off, not off, but I've noticed that because who we are and us being foreigners in the Philippines, it makes it easier in some instances. Like whether I meet some girl that's from Nigeria, because most of them that I've met came from like Nigeria. It's easier to like communicate with them and like kick it with them and hang out with them because it's kind of like just us and like very few people around, so we kind of connect with each other because we kind of feel like we can relate to each other. So it's kind of
mm-hmm.
easier to like talk to them a little bit, and they're pretty forthcoming about what they're doing there and stuff like that. Most of them come to the Philippines from what I noticed for midwifery, like trying to be midwives. They got schools out there for that, so I think most of them are in
Yeah,
school for that. So I've
I met
never
a
really
couple
had a
of them
hard
that was
time.
going.
Yeah,
I met farmers here that's studying to be missionaries too. I met a
that
few
too.
on that was going to school.
Right, right.
Okay.
And that's the first thing they asked me though too. Are you are you a missionary? Because before we start talking, they do believe that most brothers are African. I'll say
They
that.
do.
I've
They
had that
do.
experience. Yeah,
Let's talk about that. And
they
shout out to Aunt James for the midget trick fund. You know what I'm saying? Donation. Thank you, brother. Even though I haven't had, I always talk about midgets, but when I go to the Philippines, you'll be the first person that I'm gonna go live with because you know how I believe when I get into these clubs. I believe in going live, tricking on camera, so I can get caught. So let's talk about that real quick, man, because we are Black Americans, right? And so we really don't have a lot of experience with dealing with Africans because I don't think most Black Americans have African friends. I just me. I mean, am I wrong? I mean,
true.
in America, did you have a lot of African friends?
Nah,
I
I know I
did
didn't.
because in business most of the like I bought a lot of stuff from Africans and Chinese. So I had a lot of African friends in the U.S.
Okay.
They were doing like a lot of wholesale, so I knew a lot of Africans there.
Okay. What about you, Dr. Mike?
Nah, when considering I just went to school and I just went overseas, there weren't too many people from Africa that went to my school. A lot of Asian kids went to my school, but I didn't really start interacting with a lot of people from like Africa, like Nigeria and Kenya, until I actually touched down in the country. So, it's actually a pretty good experience though. Like I said, I can't really say I've had any bad experiences, with any interaction with people from other countries. I mean, especially from Africa. So,
Okay. So again, I just sent the comic out to the people who dropped their email. So check it out in your email. If you didn't get it, let me know. Um, let's see here. Here's the thing, right? Because now the Filipino people, because I know here in Poland, they can't tell who's African or who's African American. They
right.
now now
Mm-hmm.
now in Uganda they can tell. Like if you go to Uganda and you speak in English stuff like that. automatically understand that you're not from here, you're not from Africa, or I mean, they may think that you're from Africa, but maybe you're raised someplace else. So, but the Filipino people, can they tell based off
Nope,
of how
Nah,
you speak?
nope.
nope,
Until you
nope.
talk.
I mean, I had one guy. Every time I see him, he always asks me, "What part of Africa you from?" I said, "I'm from the U.S." And he still asks me, "What part of Africa you from?" So one day I had to bring my passport to show this guy, "Look, I'm a United States citizen. I'm from the U.S., not Africa." I guess he
Oh,
thought
they
I
do
was
that all
lying
the
or
time
something.
with me.
They think
Yeah,
some people think some people think that the U.S. is all white people. They think all black people come from Africa or live in Africa.
yeah. Or
I ran
maybe
across
because
one
we
girl that
have
told me that one
African
time.
traits.
One girl said she didn't know black people stayed in the U.S. I'm like, really?
Yeah, that's just ignorance and uneducation. But I mean, yeah. But they do it. It happened to me a couple times too. I mean, actually, all the time. I think until I speak, everybody thinks that I'm from Africa, and I guess that's because they're just not used to the idea of seeing a lot of Black American people in the Philippines. And we talked about that. There's a sprinkle of us. There's not too many brothers in the Philippines. Like every now and again, you'll run into a couple. Jay's got some friends out there, people who got bars and businesses and stuff like that. But there's not too many of us. It's pretty predominantly white males from Australia and the United States and other
Yeah,
parts of the world.
UK, other place.
UK, right? And then you have Africa.
I influenced a few black people to come here. I got like a lot of people from my channel, and some of the white expats over here. They see that I'm encouraging black people to come to the Philippines, and they teaming up against me now on their channels, calling me nigger and all
Ooh,
kind of shit. Like
Oh, Jay
the
got
white
haters,
dudes,
man.
they upset. Yeah, they upset that I'm encouraging black people to come to the Philippines. No show. Then they see me taking care of my son, doing the right thing, and they upset that I'm showing a positive side of a black person in the Philippines. So now they trying to attack my channel. I mean,
Hmm.
they got a whole channel dedicated to me, but they trying to attack me, calling me niggers, and I mean they tell me to go back to Africa and all kind of shit. Like this shit crazy.
It's
they're white.
yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, they're white.
white
Yeah.
Americans is they jealous because the Philippines always been like playgrounds of the white guys. They come here, it's their playground, but now you got like black people coming in. And on my channel, I'm encouraging a whole lot of black people to come to the Philippines. I mean, I give out good information and show people, and I encourage a lot of people to come here. I had people that actually move here, and they see that, and they trying to attack me now because I mean, cause of what I'm doing.
It's crazy.
They actually
In
trying
the
to get me
last few
deported.
months.
They want me deported. I had one
What?
guy. They want me deported. They trying anything
And
they can to try to get me.
it's not the Filipino people. It's other people that really don't like the idea that us as African American, Black American are living there and living in the country. We're flourishing. We're doing good things in the country, and I mean, it's just, don't get me wrong, it's not all of them. It's a select few people,
Right.
but they're kind of seeming like they're trying to create like a race war or something like that. It's the weirdest
Yeah,
thing I've
they
ever
trying to do that.
ever been a part of a day in my life. Because at first we thought they were just trying to get at Jay just to get their hits and views up. I mean, that's kind of how most people try to come up,
Right.
and they literally every live show or every live stream that they come up with, they mention him at least. I mean, within the first 2 or 3 minutes of the stream, they may have issues with other people that are not black, but when it comes to specifically Jay and what he's promoting and what we normally try to promote in the country, they really have a problem with it. Like I said, it's not even Filipino people. It's the a bunch of guys on YouTube which you'll never see. They don't never show their faces, so it's not like you know what they look like, but they're just trying to it's fucked up, but it's happening. It's happening right now.
Wow. I just can't even believe that shit, man. Like for real, nigga. Like, damn. You know what I'm saying? They calling you all these names and all that. Like,
Oh
yo,
yeah,
He
yo.
did. Jay, did he take the video down of that dude dancing? Did he take it down off his channel?
yeah. He
Cause
took it
yo,
down, but
that was
He
I
was
got it on my
dancing.
channel because I copied the
oh
video
man.
and put it on my channel when he
But
had
the
the
nigga was
video with the
Yo,
guy
he was
dancing. I'm like,
dancing.
show O'Shea. Show O'Shea later. Don't show it to him now, but low key, you
I
show
sent him a link
yo,
to
send
it.
him that video, bruh, bruh,
He was dancing
bruh.
doing what?
Dude, it was this guy. It was a brother that was dancing in like some African type get up, like with the whatever this sheet around his stomach. He was
Yeah,
kind of naked, but he kind of had like some tribal stuff on, and I think he has some face paint. I don't know, man. And the background
That ain't
music,
shit.
man.
They showed the video too. They had the video with the African guy sticking his head up the horse ass, like up a horse ass.
Dog, they were getting into it, like some shit that was way over the line. But I mean, damn.
And
It
the
ain't.
white guys were showing it.
Oh yeah, they
Oh,
showed
it
when
was,
they
it
China.
was,
They told me I
it
don't
was
belong here. I need to go back where I came from. Go back to Africa. I'm like, I've never
oh
been
yeah.
to Africa. I'm like, y'all want me to go? Send me a ticket. I'll go.
Shit, I've been wanting to go there for a
Expensive as
hot minute. Like, you
hell.
damn right. I've been pay for my ticket. I'll go check it out. Make sure it's round trip though. But I'm just saying that was crazy.
Yeah.
You said make sure it's round trip. So let me ask you. So I mean, do you know that I mean you know what these guys in the Philippines right now?
Most
Oh
of them
yeah,
are, I think.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, most of them. I mean, they even threatened my life. I had people threaten my life, telling me I need to watch my back and all that. I mean, it's crazy.
This was all within the last month or so, month and a half. Is
Yeah, within the last.
yeah.
Straight
I
up
mean,
haters.
it don't mean shit, but it's just the fact that it's been happening, and they go hard at Jay. And I mean, I might get a little bit of hate every now and again. I do guilt by association, but I don't really get it as hard as they go at Jay though. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, they
How
even
hard they
hack my
try to.
shows at times. They try to hack the shows and
Hmm.
come on and shit, take over the show, all kind of shit.
Yeah, don't. That's why you shouldn't. Don't post those links in the chat, man. Because if you do that, they can't
Yeah,
take it. Yeah.
yeah, I quit doing that. I had to send the links to people now through their email and stuff.
Have they ever took over the show before?
Hmm.
Oh yeah, they did a couple of
Twice, I
times.
think,
Yeah,
two
they
or
took
three
it over.
times. Yeah.
They'll play porn and be on there saying nigga, nigga this, nigga that.
So how are you able
Mm.
to delete the stream? Can you still delete it?
Uh, Usually, like when they take over the show, they can only do that for like 5 minutes. Then it'll shut down. Then when it shut down, I'll just take it down. They tried to hack me a couple of weeks ago though, and what I did, I just end the show as soon as they come on. I just end the show.
Mm.
They'll play porn and shit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
pictures of girls and shit.
One guy
Yeah.
channel got shut down because they played the porn on his channel, and he didn't delete the video soon enough, and then he got a strike.
Yeah.
Wow. Was he black also, or?
There's a
As a
white
white
guy
dude.
they going after too.
White guy.
There's a white guy they
Yeah.
going after.
So they're just trolls. So do anybody know what they look like, or?
No, they hide behind Avatar.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's what it's saying. Yeah, exactly. They ain't gonna show their face because they some punks.
Oh yeah, but they won't. I bet you they won't do shit if they ever see you in public. I mean, because they know what we
Nah,
look like. I mean, with our channels and stuff, we post our face. I mean, because we can get two shits. I mean, but like with them, they do their live streams. They don't really do videos like us. They just do live streams hating, and then they got their little group of people who come over to like Jay's channel, and like when we do a live chat, they'll come through and throw some hate shit in the chat box. We just retract the message, or they just or they'll come through and hit the dislike button. Just random stupid shit. Just to get some stuff going. But I think now we're probably in a place where we just don't like. He just don't care. So
Right.
I mean,
Just being a regular, just being a complete bitch.
yeah,
Well, all right, guys. So, look. So, I mean, we've been on for about almost like 2.5. How long? Almost 2.5 hours, guys.
yeah. We get on a little after 5, I think, about 5:30.
It's 1:09 in the
My
morning.
time, 5:30.
So
Okay.
I need to walk to the. I hate to do this, but I got to walk to fucking because I don't know why the grocery stores was shut down today. So I need to go walk and get me some hot dogs and shit. But it ain't nothing worse than a broken ashy hater. Shout out to Marcus Love. I just want to again, man, it was good to, because we've been trying to get on for a minute, you know what I'm saying? And with Black American Expat and Dr. Mike joined like a little bit later for the interview. But you guys know, like, Steve's been working, and I know everybody loves the Brother Peel, man. The Brother Peel podcast. Like, people either hate Steve or they love him. Everybody know who Steve the Dean is, but they love that show. Everybody know when the Brother Peel comes on, Steve is going to be doing something fucked up. And so we haven't been able to do the Peel as of late, but we will give you guys a Brother Peel this week. I promise you that. I know brothers have been talking about it. Everybody loves that show, man. Everybody loves that. The Brother Peel with me, Steve, and LAR is probably one of the most popular, podcasts in the manosphere. So, and I have my other shows that I'm doing with, Donovan Sharp. As you know, we do it on the weekend, and me and Steve the Dean have a podcast. So yeah, Steve is fucked up. Steve is crazy, but you gotta love him, man, because he keeps shit popping, man. He keeps shit popping. So, and then another thing, I gotta I have like a lot of people that I've been trying to get on to the platform because I have like a lot of people that I've been working with. This week I'm supposed to have brother Ben X from the Nation of Islam. Supposed to have him on, so that'll be pretty good. I gotta call him up. You guys know that I have been working with. I've been working with Sinful the P. I've been working with a lot of different guys, and so, but I can't forget, my travel fam, Black American Expat. I found his channel. I think I was the one that actually reached out to him, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think I started watching your stuff first. I was like, yeah, and I think you probably just knew who I was, but yeah. So I've been watching you guys do your thing, man. So, both of you guys are really, building your own community, and I want you brothers to subscribe to both of these guys. They do come over to Black YouTube. You know what I mean? They're not with the drama like, the rest of us in a way, but they got good stuff. So, shout out to Black American Expat, Dr. Mike TV. I will be working with them more often. You will see them on more often. You guys see my man Taylor Made Dreams in the Matrix. He's been on. I had my man Passport Kings. He's been on. I got to get my boy HT Logistics back on. So we've been doing more the kind of informational videos. So I really think these guys are coming on. Black American Expat, man. Any last things you want to tell people, man, and shit like that? You there? Oh, he left. All right, Dr. Mike.
Man, I just appreciate you having me on, O'Shea, man, as always. Okay, Jay's back. But yeah, I just appreciate you having me on, man. It's always good to be able to fellowship with brothers and stuff over here. Again, I know my channel is more travel based and more Philippine based, so like I have a very wide range of audience that kind of tune in, and I just appreciate you giving me time on your show to tell our story, and I appreciate you reaching out and having us on. So nothing but love, O'Shea.
Before I go, also Dr. Mike, he does have a book. Tell them about your book, man. The brothers are interested in going to the Philippines, stuff like that. Tell them where they can find it, all that stuff.
All right. I did a book. It's actually paperback and ebook. It's called Mike the PI's Quick Guide for First Timers to the Philippines. It's kind of a book based off of my experience living in the country for 10 years. I kind of tell people, the ins and outs of like traveling there, how to deal with women. It's just a basic quick book, and also popular destinations that people tend to check out whenever they go into the country. I do have 2 other ebooks. You'll be able to check them out. Normally I put the links in the description of my videos, not my live streams, but if you just check any of my videos, I put the links in the description of them so that you guys, if you want to go check them out over there on Amazon, by all means, take a glance at it. I promise you it's a hell of a good read. I've gotten nothing but positive feedback from it so far. So if you guys ever really want to get an idea of what traveling to the Philippines is like, if you ever plan on going, by all means, check the book out. It'll definitely be worth it for you guys to check it out.
All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically, if you send those links to me, I'll put them into the description. So brothers, if you guys want to go ahead and check that book out, go ahead and purchase that book, right? Because like you said, we need more Black male authors. We need more Black male writers. I mean, all of these things that, we need more Black male forums. Anything more Black male oriented is what we need, right? And so hopefully, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to thank you, Sujan King. So that's why I'm trying to basically keep this shit going. You know what I'm saying? So again, guys, support our Black male authors. My man, shout out to Marcus Love. I gotta bring him on here. Let me just say something real quick about Marcus Love, man. Marcus Love is a brother that has been, he's like, man, I have a book. I would like to write for your site. And, typically when people be like, I want to write for your site, I'd be like, you know what I mean? Nigga, I don't let me see what you got. But anyways, I got to really say, man, Marcus Love. Dude, y'all got to check out Marcus's Love's articles on the Negro Manosphere. They get comments. The dude is cold. I think, man, serious, man, Marcus Love, y'all don't know, man. He be bringing the heat, bro. And I really want him, man, in 2018, you know what I'm saying? Because I had every year I find somebody really good, right? 2016 was the year of Donovan Sharp. I landed Donovan Sharp. I brought because the Negro Manosphere, we was empty over here. We was broke, nigga. But I went over here, I got Donovan Sharp. And then in 2017 was the year of Steve the fucking Dean. Okay, I got Steve the Dean, and then I landed Tony Maceo. It was just like building a franchise and shit. And so like 2018, okay, is like I got a few good big guys. Sheena Odorele out of Ibadan, Nigeria. And this year is gonna in 2018 was Simple the P, right? That's been my big connection this year. And then my man Marcus Love, right? Every year I get somebody that just comes in, man, that has just like that's really, really, really. I find a really powerful YouTuber I make a connection with, and I find a dude that's really good at writing every year. So 2016 was like Donovan, Allen Roger Curry, Rom. 2017 was Steve the Dean, and then Tony Maceo, and then Max City Limits, all those guys. And then the 2018 has been the year Marcus Love. So I would like to get him more on, possibly. Basically, man, maybe we can get him on full time at some point, you know what I mean? Because the dude is good, man. So, shout out to Marcus Love, man. I think the guy is going to really, really, really be, and he's in my home city. So, guys, check out Marcus Love. He's an excellent writer, man. I'm talking about excellent. I'm talking about he's good. He's entertaining as fuck. So check out Marcus Love's writing, man, on Negro Manosphere. He don't even come in here and like really talk about his shit. He's humble. The brother is fire. I got to give him an interview, man. He's fire, nigga. So, okay, my bad. I just wanted to shout him out. But go ahead. Who's I'm talking? Anybody? I was a Black American Expat, or was it?
No, I'm good. Yeah, go ahead, Jay. Handle it, Jay.
Yeah, man. I want to thank O'Shea for inviting me on the show. As always, I enjoy coming over here, talking to the people. Also, check out my channel, Black American Expat, and also Black American Expat Live. Me and Dr. Mike, we come on every week, Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do a show called Love and Life in the Philippines. So check us out every Tuesday night at 8 p.m.
Okay. And then, so Tuesday night. All right, guys. And let me just do this, man. Guys, I want to say something real quick, too. You know, like a lot of people, right? And shout out to my man, Sujan Kang. If I think that's my boy from Indy, and if it is, email me, fam. I need to call you about some things real quick. Because we got a lot of talented brothers over here, man. People just don't really know. A lot of people, man, like when you look, a lot of subscribers, they miss out. They're like, oh, he don't have that many subscribers or something like that. So therefore, I'm not going to work with him. Bruh, I'm going to tell you guys with your YouTuber, man, don't sleep on people because you feel like they don't have a lot of subscribers. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Don't do that, right? These guys, Black American Expat and Dr. Mike, they can put up numbers just like anybody else because you never know who's gonna blow up. I remember I was joking with Alpha Male Strategies one day when he was beefing with Steve the Dean. He said, nigga, I'm gonna make a response video. I said, motherfucker, ain't nobody gonna watch it. Nigga, why did I say that, nigga? I had to eat them words real quick, and then I started noticing. I said, this motherfucker did. This motherfucker watching it. I turned around. I said, man, this motherfucker getting a lot of views. Man, that nigga getting more views than I'm getting in a month, and I ain't got in the last like 3 months. Nigga, he shut me the fuck up. But we cool though, because I always like the shit, but still, he ain't me though. Fuck him. I'm just hating on him because he killing my shit. Shout out to Alpha Male Strategies. He over there putting niggas to shame right now with all that motherfucking views, nigga. You need to loan me some of the motherfuckers. So you never know, man. Because I told him, man, everybody gonna watch that shit, nigga. And that video got like 10,000, 20,000 views. I said, God damn. Then the nigga just started kicking everybody ass, and can't nobody fuck with the nigga no more. We can't, man. Look. You got niggas reaching out to Alpha Male Strategies for an interview, and he like, no. So you never know who's gonna blow up, bro. You never know who's gonna blow up, man. Be cool. Frito OJ, thank you so much, fam. $2.14. Be nice to people, man, because you never know. Because that motherfucker Alpha Male Strategies, nigga, he got more subscribers than me in like half the time, man. And also, just because somebody doesn't have a big channel, that doesn't mean that their content is not good. Like Black American Expats channel is a little small and Mike, but man, you don't know, man. You never know what somebody might become, bro. Be cool to people. Dr. Mike's links are in the description. So, like I said, I work with people. I've always worked with people from the smallest channels that have 0 subscribers, from people that have like pump chasers, 500,000 subscribers. I've done all the interviews in between. I've took on all comers, debates, anything, man. So, brothers, stop, brothers have good content, man. Don't look at the YouTube subscribers and think like, oh, they don't have good content, because you never know. All right. Anything else you guys want to say real quick?
Go ahead, Jay. You good?
I'm good. I'm good.
Man, I just appreciate you having us on, man. I can't say that enough, man. So, anytime you want to come through, man, anytime you want us to come on, man, I'd be happy to be on for sure.
And I'm coming. In Black American Expat, I tell you, man, when he go live, if I catch it, I always super chat. So.
Oh yeah, he do.
Yeah, I go in there and trick off a little something. So shout out to Eric P. He said AMS may get a lot of views, but he is not O'Shea. He is not Caesar. That's my name over here. They call me Caesar. Of people never thought I was on. You be growing, man. So they called me Caesar on this part of the manosphere. Thank you guys for. We'll see you tomorrow. I promise you guys. I'm gonna get one last thing. There's a brother out there that's named and shout out to Eddie Edward Anderson, Aaron Clary. There's a dude named Kung Fu Hustler. Check him out. I would say everybody check him out, man. Glendon Cameron, super smart dude, man. When it comes to online business, and you guys were impressed by Aaron Clary, and Aaron Clary says he's the big brother that he never had. You guys know how bright Aaron Clary is, Captain Capitalism. So my goal is to land an interview with him over here to educate the brothers on online business, how to do business, things like that. So guys, we're gonna have a really good time. I'll reach out to him this week. I'm pretty sure he's gonna say yes. We got brother Ben X from the Nation of Islam this week. Hopefully we have Wode Maya from Ghana, living in China. So I'm trying to land some bigger interviews over here that these guys have some pretty good information that we can share and experiences, stuff like that. So guys, thank you so much, man, and we'll see you guys next time.
Hey, peace out.
Peace.
All right.